Yo, this is Mandirigma, ang channel na maaangas, mababangis at patatapang. Here we go. Dito lang makita, aking ibabalita, lahat ng kaganapan sa inyo ipapakita. Lalaban ng patayan hanggang sa kamatayan, boksingerong Pilipino, lalaban sa bayan yan. Put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up. Yo, this is Mandirigma once again.
One of the most extraordinary human library, a great cook, and a yacht skipper, and considered as a versatile person who lived in France, Mr. NEMUEL, the monarch of history. A skilled dance choreographer, a brilliant songwriter, a phenomenal video editor, and a hairstylist. He was a person capable of doing great things. The pro graphic artist, Mandirigma.
Live mula sa Southern France at Metro Manila, ito ang West and East Duel.
So, good morning, partner.
Good morning.
Yeah, may boses ba ako?
Meron.
Good morning. Good morning pala sa lahat
Loud,
ng mga kadigma
yeah.
natin dyan. Naglulos yung connection ng ano ko.
Hindi, okay lang. Yung cam mo ang naglo-lose. Yung cam.
Shout out pala sa lahat ng mga kadigma natin dyan sa baba. Good morning po sa inyo at sana bumoto po tayo ngayon ng ng mga nandito sa Pilipinas. Vote wisely. No? Election time na po. Yes, partner. Kumusta ka dyan, partner? Medyo na-miss ko tong LS na to. Medyo matagal tayong nawala.
No, pero yung guest natin hanggang ngayon hindi pa binabasa yung message ko eh.
Medyo pa. Baka medyo na busy pa.
No, pero
Sige lang, pwede naman tayo mag-usap-usap
naman
muna.
siya.
No?
So, nag-okay naman siya kagabi. Hopefully, Oy, rugby
Baka
boy.
na-busy lang.
It's election time.
Kaya nga eh. Shoutout pala dyan kila Pulverizer, kila Rugby Boy TV, at saka kila Kadigmang Bad Scent, no? Sila RGB Farm, shoutout sa inyo. Si Donairi Fan, sila Bokni
Yan.
Coach, shoutout po sa inyo. Na-miss ko kayo mga kadigma. Talagang ilang linggo din tayo partner na nawala, no?
Si Rowan Tudtud. Balas
Ilang
ka
linggo
door.
din tayong nawala.
2 linggo lang naman.
2 linggo. Saka inaantay din natin ngayon yung ating mga guest co-host natin. Siyempre, medyo mabigat yung ating ngayon partner, no? Yung ating LS ngayon, yung ating guest, no?
Oo.
Ito ay about sa GAB. Alamin natin kung anong meron dito sa guest natin. And good morning, Tatay Jerry. Good morning dyan sa afternoon pala. Good afternoon.
Yan. Alas 5 kay Sir Jerry.
Alas 5 ng pa lang dyan, ano?
Hapon.
Ngayon yung
Mag-alas 5
sa
pa lang.
linggo.
Late afternoon na rito. Alas 5. Yeah.
Almost 5 o'clock sa kanila.
Yeah.
So happy Mother's Day po pala kay kay Mami. Kung andyan siya.
Happy Mother's Day daw.
Kay Mami. Kay Miss Rachel din. Kay Miss Rachel.
Aba.
Hello,
Ma'am
Miss
Rebecca.
Rachel. Wow.
Ay, nandiyan
Happy
pala si Ma'am
Mother's Day.
Ray.
Nandyan.
Hello, Ma'am
Why
Ray.
does it look like?
Good
Oh,
afternoon.
Dad, you have it like. Hold on, you have it like. There you go. Thank
Good
you
afternoon.
guys. It's the Mother's Day in Vegas, so we're out here with the kids at the pool. So yeah.
Wow.
Careful.
Logan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it back
As
to my dad.
always, no?
Yan. So, shoutout muna natin yung iba pa natin mga kaibigan natin dyan. Sila Jun Sulon.
Yeah, shout out sa inyo lahat mga kadima. Kaila May Waiko, shout out sa inyo.
Ang galit natin ko uli yung partner.
Sila Mami Divine, nandito pala si Mami Divine. Shout out sa iyo Mami Divine. Kila Ed Bradley, yung aking member, no? Shout out sa iyo. Kadigma, maraming salamat sa pagiging isang miyembro po ng Mandirigma A0 Channel. Yan, si No Curfew, abatay ka. Present. Good morning sa iyo, No Curfew. Yan. Yan. Good morning, Mark Joseph.
Morning po. Morning po.
Welcome to the show.
Morning po sa inyo. Morning po sa lahat ng viewers po.
Morning, morning.
Morning din po kay Sir Jerry po. Ay, hapon na pala doon sa Amerika.
Hapon na.
Good afternoon po din sa inyo.
Alas 5 daw sila ng hapon. So, inaantay na lang natin yung ating guest partner, no? So, kumusta po yung update po dyan, partner? Medyo kaabang-abang po yung ating topic ngayon, Tatay Jerry, no? Talagang isa sa pinaka-importante talagang talakayin yung issue ngayon na ibinabato sa kanila.
Narinig ko kay Bro NEMUEL. Yep.
Kagigising lang ni Sir Mark.
Di na maggising eh. Na rin mga tao dito ngayon sa amin.
Bumoto ka na ba?
Mamaya pa po, tanghali.
Okay.
Mamaya pa tanghali.
Hanggang anong oras ba yan? Hanggang anong oras ba yung boto? Hanggang 7 pa? Okay. Mahaba pa.
Mga tao dito sa amin yun, naglalakad na papunta sa presinto. Kasi dito sa amin, sa Quezon City, yung isa sa pinakamalaking mga botante.
Oo. Magkano naman naiabot sa'yo kahapon?
O nga pala, gusto ko lang pasalamatan. Paul Verizer, maraming salamat.
NEMUEL, 2 weeks ang gapang.
2 weeks pa? Maaga naman.
2 weeks ang gapang. Oo, inaatid.
Sana all, no? Sana all.
Babalik pala uli sa trono si Madam.
Yan, maraming salamat sa iyo, Bro Paul Verizer, no? Maraming salamat sa pakulay. Saka shoutout kila Nado Bambol, kila sila pa ba yung mga, sila Wiz OZ. Shoutout sa inyo kadigma. Sa ano po ba? Sa US po ba nauna yung sa no, sa ibang bansa magboto, no? Nauna po kayo.
Bro NEMUEL, malayo ka ba sa south of France?
Nandito ako mismo sa south of France. Dito ako mismo sa south of France.
Okay. Yung coach ni Tyson Fury next week dadating dyan. Si Sugar.
Sugar and Stewart po.
Ninuno ko nga kako. Pag wala siya magawa, papakontak ko siya sa'yo.
Oo.
Yeah. Ewan ko kung anong gagawin niya riyan. Pero kasama namin dito ngayon.
Nandito ako mismo.
Yeah.
Tinatawagan ko ngayon, partner, yung nagre-ring lang, hindi sumasagot eh.
Kaya,
Mr.
hapon naman
Knockout. Hindi, gabi na doon. Mag-8 o'clock na doon.
Ayaw nga pala, 8 o'clock pala sa kanila.
Yun ang usapan eh. Oo. Hindi siya sumasagot eh. Nagre-ring lang.
Kasi medyo marami-rami tayong pag-uusapan ngayon. Hmm. Anong oras ka pala bubuto, bro Mark Joseph?
Mamaya
After
po,
nitong LS?
alas 12.
Ako
Marami
din.
pa kasi, oo, dami.
Afternoon din ako para medyo maluwag na.
Kanina kasi, hinatid ko yung tatay ko bago ko muna sa inyo. Hinatid ko yung tatay ko doon sa eskwelahan. Ang dami na.
Dami.
Dami na. Kaya sabi ko, mamaya na nga ako. Andun pa si Coco
Kaya-
Martin. Lalo na nagkaano yung mga media. Andun pa si Coco Martin. Kakarating
Lalo
lang.
nagkagulo.
Saka si Alfred Vargas.
Kasi pala sa inyo, sa Nova ka pala, no? Maraming mga artista dyan, Quezon City. Yun.
Wala.
Sila Peach,
Ayaw sumagot.
Kadigma Tigres, shout out sa'yo, Tigres. Ayaw pa sumagot.
Nado
pa,
Bumble. Mega love shoutout. Sino ba yung si Nado Bumble? Ngayon ko lang ito nakita. Tigres.
Shout out sa'yo, Tigres. At maraming salamat pala. Nagpakulay din si Kadigmang Ed Bradley, no? Saka isa din siya sa aking membro dito sa Mandirigma Ed Zero. Maraming salamat sa Kadigma Ed. Medyo na-miss ko yung
Kuya
LS
pa.
sa partner.
Si Kuya Pango pala to Nado Bumble.
Siya yan.
Oo.
Kaya pala yung mga bitaw na no?
Oo, nakita ko yung karakter eh.
Mga
Karakter ni Kuya
emoticon na
Pango.
ginagamit niya.
Oo.
Good morning din sa iyo, Kadigma Carlos De Jesus. Si Kuya Pango pala yan. Nag-change ng pangalan.
Ninja. Marunong gumawa ng ninja si Kuya Pango.
Natuto na.
Naka-mute ka.
Sino?
Si Mark Joseph.
Okay yan. Hindi ako na
Okay ba? Kala ko naka-mute ka.
Makikinig lang daw si Tigres while working. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Tigres, sa pakikinig dito sa Western East Do. At saka siyempre, pasalamatan ko din yung dalawang co-host natin ngayon, no, ngayong umaga. Si Mark Joseph at saka si Tatay Jerry. Maraming salamat po sa inyong dalawa. Inaantay na lang natin yung ating guest ngayon.
Hindi ko alam kung anong nangyari. Nagre-ring naman.
Baka nagpe-prepare pa lang siya. Last time, ganito rin nangyari kay Isaiah, no? Isaiah Hart. Yun, buhok ni Coach. Shout out sa'yo.
Yun din natin kay Sir Kinito. Ganon din. Kung hindi ko tinawagan ang pag-akala niya the following day ang live natin. Sabi ko, no, everybody in the panel's up already. Okay, let me log on. Yeah. Kasi nga, ang time difference natin eh.
Akala ko ba, Sir Jerry, pagdating ni Mr. Mitra sa Pinas, i-guest.
Ayan, yun.
Ay, i-guest niya si Ma'am Ray tsaka si Mitra. Sa kanilang show.
Yeah, wala pa eh. Yung guesting na yun, wala pa sa sa Play It Right eh. Dapat daw si Gab Chair magpapakita daw kako.
Ang tagal naman ng flight niya.
Hindi, gusto nga ang sagot sa akin ni Sir Kinito gusto pa daw nila makausap si Mr. Clima, si Mr. De La Cruz at saka si Cham Tata. Kako wala sa amin 'yon. Kayo magano
Correct.
noon, set up sa noon. Hindi kami magigit na diyan. You know?
Tama po yun. Sila
I mean, may access kami sa kanila, pero why should we bakit kami mag-asikaso nun?
Tama.
You know?
Correct.
Sila may kailangan, sila mag-asikado.
Yeah, exactly. Kung pwede nga daw gusto ng ng picture ng video ng sparring ni Champ Tata niya kay Champ Donaire. Sabi ko, wow. special request. Pati
Special request.
Boss Badong Aratilis. Gusto rin daw ng wow, galing nga. Yeah.
Yun na nga, yun naririnig ko ngayon na kumakalat na magkakaroon doon ng sparring si Champ nito at saka si
Sir
Champ.
Jerry, may tanong lang po ako, kung pwede lang po sa putin po. Kailan po yung possible na biyahe po ni Champ nito sa Japan? Consider mga 2 weeks before ba kayo mag-over or 1 week before the fight?
Alis kami dito ng 20 o 21 ng Mayo. Papunta sa Japan, rekta na sa Japan. Ayaw kami papuntahin ng promoter ni Champ sa Pilipinas. Ang plano dati doon mag-iensayo baka daw maipit kami. Kaya mas mabuti na doon kami maipit sa loob ng Japan kaysa yung magpapakahirap kami pumunta sa Japan from the Philippines.
So dahil from Vegas to Saitama, tama po ba?
Yes, from Vegas to Haneda. Ang bagsak namin Haneda. Japan, tapos may hotel na sila lahat ay nasikaso na ng grupo sa Japan na ng team namin na asikaso na.
So sa camp nito po, dalawa po yung possible po na makakasama niya sa corner. Si Ma'am Rachel and si Mike Bazel, tama po ba?
Si Tony Diaz din. Yung Diaz. Dating na matagal lang
Sa MMA
tapos he's working him sa corner.
Okay. So tatlo pala po sila.
Uy, maraming salamat sa iyo, Tigres, no? Pangtagay daw habang nagkikwentuhan tayo. Naghihintay ng guest. Maraming salamat. Shoutout din sa iyo, Mike Magno. Maraming salamat, Kadigma. At Batang Mindanao, shoutout sa iyo, Kadigma, bro. Vote wisely tayo mamaya. Batang Mindanao, boto tayo mamaya. Saka si Kadigma Rigsart, shoutout sa iyo, Kadigma.
Rigsart, what's up, man?
Sa US po, Sir Jerry, sino po ang magko-cover ng fight? ESPN? Magko-cover ang ESPN ng laban po nila ni Champ saka si Inoue?
Itatanong daw ni Rachel kung so just bantayin nyo na lang i-advise ni Rachel kung sino ang sa US ESPN 2 o ESPN Plus sa US. Sa Pilipinas titignan natin kung sino ang kumuha na broadcast station. Tatanong daw ni Rachel pag nakausap na namin yung mga tao sa Japan. At this point in time, inaasikaso nga kasi yung mga kasama namin, part of the team, kailangan kasi lahat ng mga papeles namin, passport and everything, ayos bago kami dumating ng Japan May mga habol pa kamo si Jesse Vargas.
Kasama po si Jesse Vargas po.
Si Jesse Vargas at saka si Jelena kalimutan ko ng last name yung 8-time world champion na babae. Kasama namin. Nasa team namin yun kasi kasama-sama ni Champ Nonito mag-ensayo kino-coach niya. Ha?
Amanda, ano?
Hindi. Jelena Majedovic or something like that, ano?
So it's part of the team ng it's part of the training camp pala po si Jesse Vargas sa camp ngayon ni Camp nito po.
Yes. Parang bifurcated yung team nung laban ni Jesse Vargas kasi kinonsentrate lahat ng sa kanya sa pag-ensayo niya. Sinubukan nga baguhin ng laro ni Jesse Vargas ni Champ Nonito. Iba talaga pag there were some changes first couple of rounds sa laban niya, pero bumalik ulit sa sa hilig niya, yung kinasanayan niya makipagbanatan doon sa tao. Kako ang kalaban mo mas mabigat sa iyo so hindi fruitful yung ginawa niya. Mas mabuti pang ginawa niya yung plano Medyo nagulo nun. Yung bata nang gugulo rin ba? Ayun si Logan,
this side.
Member
pala kay Viper.
Sige. So Sir Jerry, yung sparring session po ni Champ Nonito, tatapusin po sa Japan. So, dito na po sa Vegas.
Bro, nagbe-break up ka.
Okay, sorry po. Yung sparring po ni Champ Nonito, tatapusin na po ba sa Vegas o mismo sa Japan na po tatapusin yung sparring session po?
Lahat tayo broken. Naglalag yung signal. Lakas ng hangin dito
Interrupt ko lang ha.
Sandstorm na dumaan lang dito sa Vegas.
Yeah. Tatay Jerry and Mark Joseph, sorry to interrupt ha. Welcome na po natin yung ating guest, no? Si Sir Juan Lucky po. Hello sir, good evening.
Hi, Sir Juan.
Hi.
How are you? Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, nice to
Good
see
evening,
you.
sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening.
And welcome to our show. West
Nagsisibol.
no?
Thank you.
Yeah. I am Mandirigma and we have Sir NEMUEL, Sir Jerry, and Mark Joseph. Yeah.
Sir Juan, Sir Jerry is the father of Ma'am Rachel Donaire.
Donaire, yes.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Yeah, but they have a problem with his internet, so she will come back a little bit on.
Okay,
So,
I got it.
so good
Anyway,
evening.
Good
It's
evening.
nice to be here
yes, sir.
in our show, West and East Do. And as our title of our show for today, it is going to be for the Games and Amusement Board in the Philippines, which is we would like to tell it to everybody that Mr. Juan Lucky, he owns a promotional company in boxing in the Philippines before. So, and we would like to tell you what kind of experience he had. Is it good or bad, or maybe in Tagalog is bangungot in the Philippines, what he experienced in the Philippines, guys. So he will tell us a little bit of his story about his company. Can you tell us about your company, Mr. Juan Lucky?
Sure. Yeah, I was living in Tondo, Manila, back in 2014, and I was working with a guy who was in the game, another American who was in the Games and Amusement Board, working as a referee, and he saw that I love fighting, I love boxing, and he told me, there's a lot of Filipino guys who would love to work with you, and why don't you get into professional boxing? And I thought, wow, that'd be interesting. And he showed me the process to apply as a manager in the GAB, and that's when things never went right from the beginning, because initially I had a manager's license from New Jersey. I lived in New Jersey before, where I tried boxing management, and so I thought I would be able to easily
transfer my New Jersey license to the Philippines since I was a resident, but that never was the case with the gap. There was always some obstacle, first because I was a foreigner, and then second because I didn't have proper visa permits and residency. So even after I got married, I'm currently married to a Filipina, this still didn't satisfy the requirement. I always had problems with licensing, and this was sort of intentionally done so that any work I did in professional boxing in the Philippines could sort of be destroyed, or there's no record of me ever existing or doing any work in Philippines boxing. And this was all sort of created first by the former chairman, Juan Guanzon. And he sort of coached the current chairman, Abraham Khalil Mitra, to continue this sort of anti-foreigner discrimination against me. But it was only against me because, as you all probably noticed, there's several other Americans who operate in the Philippines in professional boxing and other sports, and this is totally allowed by the GAP and other sports agencies. So you can clearly see there's a discrepancy and there's unfairness. Going back to my company, I started as a stable. I wanted to elevate pro boxing in the Philippines to a level that you see in America. I think Filipino fighters have a special, very special talent, and I wanted to build on that talent. And I saw as I traveled throughout different provinces, Leyte, Palawan, particularly Mindanao, there's just so much unlimited potential in boxing for Filipino guys who have the heart to become a professional. And so I wanted to bring my talent, my business talent, my boxing experience, and give that to Filipino boxers. But this is something that wasn't welcome by the GAP. And because of Abraham Khalil Mitra, pretty much KO Warrior stable was dismantled, destroyed, as well as my promotion company, which I started in 2018. I started promoting with a promoter, Bernard Yu from Butuan City, which the GAB recommended to me to promote with. They said, if you're an American, you want to promote boxing in the Philippines, you need a Filipino partner. So they sort of recommended Bernard Yu to me, and I started doing promotions in Butuan City a lot. We got really popular, even though I still wasn't recognized by GAB. Behem Mitra did a lot of illegal things. That's to put a long story short. He did many illegal things to me. He used me in ways I never imagined. I never thought a politician would attack. I didn't know a politician attacks private citizens. And me being a foreigner living in the Philippines, it was extremely hard. Just like it's difficult for a Filipino to get employment in the Philippines, a Filipino has to go abroad as an OFW. Me as an American living in the Philippines, it's very difficult to get a job or anything. You either come with money or you have to survive. And so I built my boxing company from Sundo to survive, to provide for myself and my family. And this guy, Mitra, destroyed everything. I'm currently back in America. I had to register KO Warrior Promotions in America because, as far as Abraham Khalil Mitra wants the situation and my status in the Philippines, he wants to pretend that I don't exist, I never existed, and my company doesn't exist. And it's because he's a criminal. And he did many criminal things to me. And he wants to deny and say that everything that comes out of my mouth is not true, but I know the truth. But that's my story. KO Warrior Promotions. Long story short. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Wow.
So now, guys, we can start our questioning to Mr. One Lucky. So any of you wants to question him?
Yeah. I have question, Sir Lucky. You mentioned in your YouTube video that Gab collects some money to WBA because if they refuse to give money, no Filipino boxers will fight in that sanctioned body. Can you elaborate that issue, sir?
Well, I look at how Baham Mitra represents the WBC. No GAB chairman should represent any sanctioning body. He should be independent of any boxing sanctioning body. So for him to represent the WBC, first of all, is a major violation. Number two, he went and attacked the WBA specifically for a Filipino boxer, and he threatened to punish all Filipino boxers if the WBA did not pay up the owed purse money for that particular fight. That's poor conduct as a chairman. As a GAB chairman, you're not only representing the Philippines, but you're an international figure for the Philippines. So you have to represent Filipinos all over the world. And you don't go around threatening international organizations because something goes wrong. This is what Baham Mitra did. Going after the WBA is the wrong approach and very undiplomatic. And that's what I meant by my statement and video.
Mark Joseph or Tatay Jerry, you have question?
Well, sir, one of the questions I would have you listen to is with all these things that have happened to you in your business with regards to boxing, is there any paperwork that we could sort of follow through? Because right now, after Nonito Donair's fight in Japan,
Mhm.
the team is going to the Philippines to deal with GAP strictly for the purpose of acquiring a promotional license for Probellum uh, to operate in the Philippines. So if
Yes,
you had encountered those kind of problems, uh, it would be nice to have documentations
sure.
to present to GAP and refute whatever things that they're going to tell us that is not proper. So
Right.
you get this ready.
I understand you. Well, to register my company in the Philippines, I had to first register under DTI, Department of Tourism and Industry, if I'm not mistaken. And then
Mm.
once I had that license,
Department
I
of
had to
Trade and
present
Industry.
that to the GAB chairman, along with my financial documentation in order to get the promoter's license, along with a lot of other paperwork. He would always say that a promoter's license in the Philippines is a privilege, not a right. And so it's at the GAB chairman's sole discrepancy who can be a promoter in the Philippines and who cannot. And this is sort of the authoritative power that he used over me to either allow or deny me the right to promote boxing there. Extremely unfair, sort of like a dictator, authoritarian. But to answer your question, yes, I do have paperwork on everything, and Mitra has acknowledged my company, but he pretends that it's just a company. I've never existed in as far as promotions, fights, or any type of boxing record because he is a master at destroying records. He uses the attorney Bermar Benitez in the GAB legal division. He spends quite a lot of time destroying documentation. I can tell you that.
Yes, Sir NEMUEL.
So therefore, all the things that you did is in line with the law in the Philippines. So why is it that he doesn't want you to be part of the industry? Do you have any point by point idea why is it happening to your company?
I believe there's several reasons. If you've watched my research on Mitra, I believe he's part of a syndicated group of individuals. I've give the list of individuals many times. Brico, Lorde, Art Monis, JC McGill, Sandman Promotions, Keyboards Promotions, which all used boxers that were under GAB contract with me, which Abraham Mitra illegally nullified with the GAB attorney. But among the syndicate, you also have Sean Gibbons, members of WBC, members of IBF, and several other individuals, and they operate and like in America we have the deep state, deep government. You have maybe a deep GAB or the GAB syndicate that operates among themselves solely for profiteering among the syndicate. So if you're not a member, then you will be attacked and you might get your company destroyed like mine did. I'm not the only person though. There have been other victims of these people in GAB.
Partner?
Yeah. Tatay Jerry, you have a follow-up question?
Well, as I said, it's rather unfortunate what had happened to you, but it's been one of my I guess project is to confront Mr. Mitra with this things, because I also have other promoters working in the Philippines that is blanketed restriction by the GAP,
Mm-hmm.
because they do not belong to the MP promotion banner and stuff like that. They're just totally being nullified by GAP, which is really unfair. You're asking them to acquire licenses to operate in the Philippines, yet you don't allow their fighters the same uh, uh, what do you call it? Same
Privilege.
process.
Same courtesy.
Yeah, same courtesy as the other Filipino boxers that work for MP promotion. So that's one. And as I said, I got the paperwork that would support that. I don't know if it's those papers are coming out when we have our meeting with GAB Chairman Mitra, or when we do that face off on Play It Right with Chinito Henson and Diane Castillo. I would much rather have it like that in the open on video on a live, so that a lot of people will see the coverage and the paperwork that is really being hidden at this point in time, because right now nobody knows. It's just hearsay that things are happening like this, like what you would just gave us your story on, because it's just hearsay right now. So
Right, he's a master of deception. And if you just look at his appearance alone, he comes across with a smile and a baby face and
right.
and a charismatic personality, and so you wouldn't detect this person as being the type of criminal mind he is. But I promise you, Abraham Khalil Mitra is a very dirty dude. And if you do the research on him, you'll see that he's been a kleptocrat for many years, since he was a governor and a congressman in Palawan. He's been stealing money, whether it's fertilizer or building highways or the environmental money. There's a lot of environmental damage in Palawan. He took money from environmentalists. The Doc Jerry Ortega murder with ex-Governor Reyes, Mitra was involved. He did all of this stuff before he became GAB chairman. And once he became GAB chairman, I was the target of attack. He used me to elevate a lot of other boxing promoters in the Philippines. You got Sandman over here in Miami and Dominican Republic. Those boxers got there because Mitra illegally fought my boxers in Sandman Promotions to give those guys wins. He's a cheater across the board. I mean, a lot of fights have been recorded in the Philippines that are just total robberies, false, fake fights set up by Mitra and other GAP officials. And somebody in the Philippines needs to wake up and see what he's doing and the damage he's done. Because I believe the Philippines can correct what he's done and bring boxing back to where it should be in the Philippines. But others just blindly follow him because he's a government official. And I think this blind following is what he relies on, the trickery and using the media to promote this good image. But there's several dirty officials in the GAB, and I can give you names. I'm not ashamed. I'm not scared of them because they cut me deep. I mean, they did not have to do what they did to me. But I'll let you guys talk. Go ahead.
Yeah. My surprisingly, no, sir. Gab are planning to give an award to Sean Gibbons. So, what can you say about this, sir? Because before they treat you badly, but on Sean they are giving a royal treatment. So, what is the difference between you and Sean Gibbons? Do you think they are giving some money like that?
Well, Ben Mitra has benefited from Sean Gibbons since 2016. I can tell you personally that Sean Gibbons robbed me along with Mitra and JC Mountaingill during a promotion that they did in Pasay. This is in 2018 with their boxer Romero Duno.
Duno.
This was I had a boxer under contract with me, Joanne Imperial, and Mitra had this boxer fight in Sandman's promotion without my permission. He didn't give me a call, any notification at all. And then when I approached Mitra about it, he tries to play dumb, play innocent. And then he has the GAB lawyer to hide any paperwork or create false paperwork. And he's got a system. So even when he attacks you, he's got a way to cover himself up and look innocent. And so when it comes going back to your question, the award for Sean Gibbons, you have to award your syndicate members, right? It's just like the WBC gives Banham Mitra an award every single year. If you notice these little awards Banham Mitra gets from the WBC, they're these little tiny trophies and meaningless. Banham Mitra has done nothing for boxing. He's bad for boxing. He's worthless. And so, but the WBC has made millions off of Filipino boxers. How? Because Filipino boxers fill seats, in Las Vegas and in California, and Texas, and these other big venues. They need those Filipino boxers to fight on the undercards. And so Banham Mitra and uses Sean Gibbons to supply them. Also, Sean Gibbons has been a member of the IBF. I can tell you about a fight with my other boxer, Marco Lorente. Sean Gibbons, Banham Mitra, illegally, once again, had my boxer fight in Japan. I didn't receive any manager fee, any purse money for that illegal fight. I reported it. I reported it to the IBF. President, I forgot his name, the black guy, he ignored me. Talked to Sean Gibbons. Sean Gibbons talked to me with attitude. I've never met the guy face to face. First time he talks to me like I'm a piece of trash. He's got a major attitude. Why? Because he's got his buddy Banham Mitra to back him up. Okay, so why does Sean Gibbons get awards from Banham Mitra and Gab? It's because they're partners. They're in bed with each other. They make money together. And so you award your syndicate, your dirty syndicate members. You give them little trophies, and you buy them some dinner. You take them out for karaoke. So that's what Banham Mitra is doing for Sean Gibbons.
Wow. Yeah.
Mind blowing, man. Mind blowing.
I,
So, what can I say? This is the right guy for us. because he's telling us all his bad memories in the Philippines and oh,
Not bad.
the
My
reality.
personal life was great, and I love boxing, and I'd come back and do boxing in the Philippines right now. But for someone to attack me and destroy what I built from zero, it 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 really really it, I just don't understand how Behem Mitra can live with himself knowing what he's done to other people. How can he continue going around smiling, pretending like he's a normal human being after the damage he's done to people? But for him to be so calculating and to attack me and my company the way he's done for so many years, he showed me a side of evil I didn't know I have never come across before. Because I personally would never attack a man like that for anything, especially someone who loves boxing. I don't care how much I hate you. If you love boxing, I might not like you, but for the purposes of boxing, I'm going to encourage you to continue doing what you're doing. There's no way I would ever think about destroying what your work in boxing. But that's what Behem Mitra did to me. And he not only attacked me and my company, but he attacked my wife. He attacked my family. And he forced me to leave the Philippines. He cut off my income. So this guy is
Oh,
extremely evil. And somebody needs to punish him. Go ahead, guys.
yeah. So therefore, did you? Because when I saw your Facebook account, I saw many things that you showed that to the world. That you even tell all the senators, all the government officials. You wrote a letter to them, right? Is there
Yes,
any
I've written many
response at
letters.
all? Yeah. Did some office that you sent letter to them responded you?
Only response I get is from the office of the president, um, uh, Mr. Laxon, and the office of the ombudsman in Quezon City. The ombudsman's office has been keeping a detailed record on Behem Mitra for several years, but the ombudsman does not take any action against them. I filed a criminal affidavit on him and the Gab legal attorney for fraud, corruption, and robbery with the Makati prosecutor's office. I got no reply from them. I'd say the majority of the response has been through the presidential office and the ombudsman's office, but they don't move. They don't take any action. They just acknowledge. I
Oh,
write Senator Pacquiao's office probably every week. He gets all my messages and emails, but just acknowledgement, no reply,
no,
no action.
that's how bad it
So
is.
I just feel like maybe because of the power and influence of the Duterte administration, maybe people's hands are tied. Maybe we have to wait. You have to wait for a new election before any action can be taken. But Mitra is really awful for boxing. He's done a lot of damage. That's all I can tell you. And I wish people in the Philippines would just finally wake up and realize what an awful person he is, and just stop believing that the news media, the Philippine Inquirer stories that says he's doing something good for sports these days. He's never done anything good. He just does these little token things like he got healthcare extended, free healthcare for the boxers, but they can only get free healthcare at two hospitals in Manila. If you talk to any boxers in Leyte or Mindanao, they'll tell you they've got to spend like 2,000, 3,000 pesos to go get a physical. So he lies. He tells straight up lies. And the problem I have is that people just want to. People in the Philippines tend to believe in Benham Mitra for some reason. They've been very extremely loyal to him. I don't understand why, but he's a dirty dude. He's awful. One of the worst people I know. Worst person in boxing.
Yeah. Sir Lucky, today is election day. Today.
Oh
Very
well.
soon we will have a new president, no, a new administration, and Gab will have a new chairman for sure. So, is there any chance to come back here and put a promotion again? Try to
Yes.
apply again in Gab?
The Philippines. The Philippines is my home. My children still live in Tondo right now. I miss my kids. I miss my family. I want to come back to the Philippines, but I've been sort of threatened, by Mitra. And how can I do my work in boxing when I have a chairman who's totally against me working in boxing? And so I have a gym actually near Davao City. The one boxer I kept under Gab management, Jeffrey Dumaget, welterweight. He's still in Davao City. He's been waiting on me all these years to return back to the Philippines. There's so much work, so much accomplishment I still want to do. There's a promoter, Washington, up in Ifugao. We were great partners. He wants to work with me again. There's Tiger Gym in Mandaluyong. A lot of great places, a lot of great people, and of course I will go back. I would just like the environment to be a little better.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Sir Lucky. Good to know, no? Yes, Sir Jerry. Any question for Sir Lucky?
Well, I would just like to, advise you, sir, that as I said, our main goal right now is to clear things up with the leadership of GAB. I know it is corrupt because, as I said, I got people that is going on the backside and trying to kind of clear things up with GAB and get their boxers licensed and permitted to go out of the Philippines to compete. Yet, for some reason or the other, they're getting blocked. So that is one thing that we got to find out. Well, let's see how acceptable Probellum is going to be when approached Gab. And we'll see after that. Because I myself, after I had initially tried to talk to Chairman Mitra, um, was kind of given the runaround. Up until now, we haven't been face to face about his comment on John Real Casimiro being unprofessional. That he made that statement in a live interview. Um, and after that, since I wasn't able to face him, I wrote a letter or an email to President Duterte's complaint department, and we'll see if that will merit anything. Because right now is votation time, so I believe that they're pretty much busy to acquire the seat on back onto the presidency, and I'm hoping that President Bongbong Marcos gets that position and he clears up all these people that are corrupt in the government of the Philippines.
Yes. Benham Mitra definitely he's been a disservice to Filipino people and the government for more than more than 10 years that I know of. And if you talk to the people in Aborla and Palawan, they will tell you exactly what kind of person Benham Mitra is. I wish you good luck in getting everything resolved with your boxers, but I recommend also that you contact DFA, Department of Foreign Affairs, because their leadership will change also, I imagine, with the new president.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so the GAB chairman, he sort of plays gatekeeper with international visas and boxers. If you remember Chairman Guanzon, he was in a scandal giving out visas fake visas to human traffic Filipinos to Australia through boxing. So Bahamitra, what he does or did was play gatekeeper with visas through DFA, and the boxing division staff will just follow whatever Mitra says. So if he like you mentioned, if you don't have that initial first good relationship with him, he could prevent your boxers from leaving the Philippines. And yeah, it's very unfair. Gab has no transparency, and there should be no boxing authoritarian like a Gab chairman. It should be a transparent agency where everyone is free to conduct boxing business. Just like if you were to come here to the U.S., you as a Filipino working in boxing, you come here freely and conduct business as long as you're within the rules and boundaries. And with Banham Mitra, he makes his own rules. That's what a dictator and authoritarian does. And that's why corruption exists. But I wish you good luck, and hope you have success.
Yeah, especially the office of Games and Amusement Board is under the office of the president. So therefore, the president have a direct power to unseat the chairman. And I think it's not just only to unseat this guy. We need to have a good and proper investigation, because I remember when he went to UK, he was in the company of Mr. Sean Gibbons, and instead of talking to both parties, which is Quadro Alas, just only a few. I think it's not just a few blocks. It's just in front of the venue, and he did not even manage to talk to John Rell about what's going on, and he mentioned a lot of BS word against him, and not and even telling him to strip his license as a boxer.
Right.
So therefore, so,
Mhm.
so okay, go ahead, sir.
Well, maybe you mentioned I've made complaints on Banham Mitra and his racism, and his first reaction is, well, what do you mean? How can a Filipino be racist? I said, well, you're racist because you adopt the mentality of your white American handler, who is also a racist. He controls you and tells you what to do and make decisions. And so, of course, Banham Mitra denies everything I say, and what are you talking about? But since Mitra has been chairman, he's followed the same tradition as Guanzon. Once a Filipino boxer ranks internationally, has the opportunity to fight abroad, he will assign typically a white American handler to that Filipino to control that boxer's career. And that's the situation you have with Casimiro. And I knew it when I forget the fight when Casimiro shot the middle finger and was saying F you on camera. And I said, wow, that is not behavior of a Filipino. I know a Filipino on national or worldwide television. No. Sean Givens told him to say those things. Right. And so this upsets me, and that's something I also want to change, and sort of the mentality of the talented Filipino boxer. To come fight here in America, you do not need managers like Sean Givens, or you do not need some racist white supremacist who doesn't really like Filipinos other than to make money off of you or exploit your women. You do not need these people to come here to America and fight. You can do it all by yourself. Okay, that's one of the most important messages I would like to get across to all Filipino boxers who do have the ability to fight professionally and want to come fight here in the U.S. or anywhere abroad. You don't need people like Sean Gibbons.
It just so happens that a lot of Filipino in the Philippines are in awe na Sean Gibbons could bring the Filipino boxers over from the Philippines to here and have them fight championship and stuff. So they're out of that. So it doesn't matter what wrong he does. They're at odd. They worship him like a god, right? And
Hmm.
we've been telling them, through our lives and stuff like that, that Sean Gibbons is not a licensed individual to operate in the Philippines or to operate in the state, the
Right.
United States. He is not licensed to operate. So uh, but again, it doesn't matter that that is the case because of what he does and what he produces. So unless these people change their attitude in that respect, uh, they'll be bolstering up his image, and that's pretty much what happens when you talk to other Filipinos to somebody in politics. They will push his ascension up into the ranks, Sean Gibbons and this Gab Chairman Mitra. They're the good guys, you
Right.
know.
Right. But they're not good. I'm telling you, Sean Gibbons stole from me. He's a thief, and I will tell him to his face. Sean Gibbons, you are a thief for what you did to me, and the reason you were able to do it is because of Banham Mitra. Right? If you didn't have Banham Mitra in your back pocket, you wouldn't be able to operate in the Philippines, and you wouldn't be able to manipulate Filipinos the way you do. And you should be ashamed of yourself because if you're here in America, if you're here in Las Vegas, you won't be able to do it, and you can't. You can only do that to Filipinos, and you can only do it in the Philippines, and you can only do it because you got Banham Mitra, the cheater criminal he is, to help you. Once you remove Banham Mitra, you remove Sean Gibbons.
I agree with your view, Sir Lucky. And for that thing, I hope that the new administration is going to address these things, and West and East do, along with our friends, are going to be and a big ally to tell this directly to the new president.
Yeah, so someone
Because,
needs to address the poor tradition of the Gab chairman. Chairman Guanzon, all he did was aggrandize himself. I believe he started his own boxing promotion company in Puerto Princesa. The Gab chairman is supposed to be a neutral individual who's not business minded. Banham Mitra, all he did was promote basketball, elevate himself in the WBC, which he never deserved, and then promote Sabong, his business in Palawan. So
yeah,
he set up his Sabong business. So when he leaves office next month, he can go back home and play with chickens, at Filipinos' expense. And so so the next Gab chairman should be someone who actually cares about boxing, cares about the sport, is not interested in just being a kleptocrat, stealing money from the government, cheating people, doing fake boxing, fake records on BoxRec, aligning yourselves with some of the worst people in the boxing, Sean Gibbons, uh, um, um, uh, several other individuals. I won't call off names, there's so much correction that needs to be done. And if you have a strong Gab chairman, I believe things can be repaired or at least moving forward in the right direction. Filipino boxers should have a champion in every division from 105 pounds to 150 pounds. There should be a Filipino champ, and there isn't one right now because mainly because of Banham.
yeah. So, partner, is there any more questions that we can ask to Mr. Juan?
Maybe this is my last question for Sir Lucky, no? Because
Yeah.
I I'm very speechless for what I've heard now. So we really need more promotions, sir, in the Philippines, sir, no? For the future for our boxers. And I am very, very disappointed to God for what happened, no? Because that's the future of our boxers. We have a lot of boxers here in the Philippines, a good boxer. So, well, anyway, why you choose to put up a promotion here in the Philippines, sir?
Why? Because I just recognize the talent, and then also the cost. Of course, the cost of a venue here in the States is maybe 6 or 7 times more than what you would pay in the Philippines. And so I have a little fundraising skills. I was able, I think, for the first promotion in Butuan, I was able to gather about $5,000, and we had a nice uh, promotion in five bouts in the capital, Butuan City. And so it was just great practice as a promoter. That's when I started promotion. So it was great. It was a great experience. I got to, even though my relationship didn't work out with Bernard Yu, like if anybody in America is listening, Philippines is an awesome place to get started in boxing management and promotion. There's just so much opportunity as long as you have the gab and the people around you that welcome you and let you work and operate there. You know, but that's why I saw the potential, and the potential is still there. It'll always be there, but you have to develop it, and of course you can't. The corruption has to be eliminated, or you can't go far.
Yeah. Yes, Sir Jerry,
Well,
more question?
well, this is a statement, Kako, to follow up what Bro said there. That was the initial um, thinking when President Duterte stepped into office to clear all that corruption in our government. It just so happened that there was somebody in back of him that he has appointed that is hiding and was not seen, right? Because there's not enough Filipinos. See, that's a problem with Filipinos. We're afraid to talk. I grew up here. I grew up in the States. So
Hmm.
hey, he gives me some bullshit. I'll go back and call him bullshit in his face. That's not a problem. But see, the Filipinos see that they are getting stepped on, yet they will not uh, go back and tell the guy that he's full of shit. See, that's the
Yeah,
problem. That is a big problem. Up until that happens, people like this that hides uh, in the auspices of the Philippine government will continue to hide and get away with it. You know?
yeah, yeah. Well, I hope this is his last, position in government because Mitra's done enough damage to people. He doesn't deserve to continue working in government. I hope I hope he doesn't go back to Palawan or Alabang or wherever he's from and continue doing what he's doing.
Yeah. Yes, partner, you have question?
Yeah, for me, since I've known Juan for more than a month now, and I read his stories in his Facebook account, and if you can read it, to be honest with you, I'm a Filipino one, but my heart is with you because I know the corruption is totally a cancer already in every society in the Philippine government, and I know that we can still make it right
Sure.
with the
And
help of the new government. Hopefully we can be able to expose well, and we will not allow Mitra to go away without any consequences of what he did to games and amusement board.
thank you. I appreciate
So
it. I need some justice. I lost
yeah,
everything. I lost my house in Cavite. I lost my wife. She betrayed me for the gap. I don't have. I can't see my children. I left the Philippines 3 years ago because of Mitra. The guy tried to destroy me, and why? I can't understand why. Well, when he started stealing the boxers from me, I guess he felt like, okay, I'm stealing from this guy, so I gotta totally ruin him, and that's what he tried to do. But once again, I can't conceive attacking another man so viciously the way he did to me, my company, and including my wife, and attacking my wife. My wife was innocent. My wife she didn't even like boxing. But Beham Mitra is an extreme manipulator. I've never come across such an evil-minded individual, somebody who can calculate attacking another person like playing chess. And he did all of this from that Makati office, behind closed doors. It took me almost a year to figure out who this person was, why are they doing this to me, why are they attacking me. And then I have to sit by and watch people like Sandman and Sean Gibbons and others not only steal from me and rob me, but then their boxing careers elevated since 2016, while mine went down.
Yeah.
And so I had to watch Van Mitra just bring certain people up to an achievement level in boxing they didn't deserve, using boxers that I spent my money and resources on to manage, and then I'm the loser. My pocket's out, nothing. I even had to leave the Philippines. And I didn't return since COVID because, I don't know what Ben Mitra had set up for me in the Philippines. I'm thinking, okay, I get back to Naya Airport and maybe he's got something waiting for me. So he put me in such an awful situation. And yeah, I've wanted Filipinos to just somebody to wake up and know what kind of person Mitra is and what he's done. Because he does this. I'm an American resident of the Philippines, but he attacks his own people. Like I said, if you contact people in Borland, Palawan, talk to those locals there, and they'll tell you exactly how he robs, cheats, and attacks his own people. So yeah, thank you, Emil, for your statement. Thank you for giving me a platform and ears and eyes and ears to finally listen to my story, because I've gone for years without anyone believing me, people calling me crazy, people saying, oh, go back to America, you're not supposed to do boxing here. And my genuine purpose for starting KO Warrior in the Philippines is because I truly love Filipino boxing. I can't express that enough. And yeah, I'll go back there anytime. And yes, I want to do a promotion again. So thank you for that, Emil.
Yeah, bro. If you notice, a lot of people on the comment section are asking if you would care to go back to the Philippines, which I think you should, given 3 months after this election, it'll be a clear slate supposedly for the Gab people. I mean, supposedly it clear that office up of all the corruption, then go back in there and reestablish your business. Because, as I said, Propellum is not, is one to go in to the
Mm-hmm.
Philippines to start a promotion, but we need more. We need a variety of promotion to give our people, the Filipino, the
Sure,
chance to get out of the poverty in the Philippines and show their wares in the boxing ring,
sure,
right?
sure.
And I don't think Probellum really cares much about having the competition. Everyone is welcome, really. It's just that we don't welcome the crooked promotion
Right,
that will milk our boxers, that will
yeah,
steal money from our boxers.
right.
You
And
know,
that's something I never did. I never tried to steal money or do any type of illegal activity. But the people, I can tell you, the people that do the criminal activity in boxing, they will project that onto you, even though you're not doing anything. So for example, back in 2017, I think for 4 rounds, I think I was paying boxers 8,000 pesos. Okay, so since I was raising money for promotions, I said, okay, if the set rate for 4 rounds is 8,000 pesos, let me set an example for other promoters and pay 12,000 for 4 rounds. And so I did that, the first promotion in Botswana. I didn't want any credit for doing it. I just wanted to be helpful and generous to the boxers. After that promotion, a lot of people said, "Oh, uh, um, you're not paying the boxers enough. You're not giving the boxers enough money." And this was coming from Vic Cabalog, the GAB representative in Mindanao, because he wanted to plant a seed in the boxers' minds in Mindanao that if you got this foreigner Juan Lucky doing promotions, don't accept the normal 8,000 peso purse rate for 4 rounds. Make sure these foreigners pay more, 12 or 15. And these are the type of manipulation tactics they would use. That's just one example. So yeah, it needs to be fair across the board, fair, standardized. Boxing is an international sport. Yes, Filipino boxing, it has a bit of unity to it, and that's what the GAB is there for. But you also have to keep in mind it's an international sport, so you can't exclude. You can't be exclusionary. You can't exclude if you. I don't care where you're from. You're from Mars. If you love boxing, come on, right? If you're from even China or Russia, enemies, North Korea, I don't care. You love boxing, bring it. That's it's better for everybody. When you become exclusionary and you exclude others, deny others, be unfair and partial to some while excluding others, this is corruption. You're creating all types of trouble and problems, and this is how Banham Mitra operates. Um, um, I not only feel bad that I've ran into him, but everyone over the last 6 years has suffered. But like you said, with new leadership, I believe everything can be improved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Sir Juan. This
Mhm.
platform, the West and East Duo, is always welcome you anytime
Yeah.
you want to say something. Then we can arrange everything. As I told you, no holds barred. Everything, we will tell everybody what was
Yeah.
going on in the Philippines regarding games and amusement board.
Yeah.
Thank
This
you.
this, this is
Mhm.
you
Go
know,
ahead.
this is for our boxers future, sir. So we hit operation really. So thank you, Sir Juan, and thank you for giving us your time for our show here in Western Isdo. And it's an honor, sir, to have you here. So looking forward for your promotion here in the Philippines very soon. And where people can find you, sir, or connect you on social media.
Okay, check out my website, kowarrior.com. And any interested Filipino boxers and also guys in the States, I'm currently managing and syncing new talent. So contact me there my Facebook or Instagram page, KO Warrior Promotions.
Okay. Any last message, sir, to our viewers?
Oh, I'm sorry, I just heard you. Um, yeah, I don't want any sympathy. I know justice will prevail in the end. And thank you, especially everybody in the Philippines. I am looking forward to coming back over there, working with you. Check out my coach Jeffrey Dumaget, also Filipino welterweight near Davao City. And thank you guys for letting me join today.
Sir Juan, is there any way we can contact him so we can have him
J
also an interview here in our show?
JNG Dumaget Gym. Search if you search on Facebook. J
You
and J
just
letter
write down
J.
or just DM to me, okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Sister Jerry, do you have any parting words to Mr. Juan and to
Well,
all of
sir,
our listeners?
again, we'll welcome you back to the Philippines. We were going to be will be the test project to initiate an international promotion going into the Philippines, and we will see how that pushes through. And as I said, if it pushes through, we welcome you back there. You know, go start your promotion, go grab your boxers, and push them through to the international level.
Sure.
Then we will see a lot more of our Filipino boxers in the 105 to 150 weight range, and it will open up the eyes of these Filipinos that are so believed in the capability of Sean Gibbons and Gab Mitra. We will correct that issue.
Sure. Yeah, message to Casemiro. Don't worry, champ. You can come back. I sent you a message. Just start over, get new management, and you can get your championship back. I believe that.
Well,
Wow. Thank
being
you.
being that he's number one, sir, I don't think Butler's got any chance. They just got to meet. They just got to meet. That's the thing there. They just got to meet. But of course, again, going back to the same issue with Sean Gibbons, that's trying to distort everything. That's what Champ Casimiro fell into. But now, his manager Igas Klimas is taking care of him real well. I think Sean Gibbons and his cronies are going to have a hard time trying to reach him again. You
Sure.
know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I see
thank you
everybody in the
again,
chat
Mr. Juan.
welcoming me
Thank,
back to the
Yeah.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Philippines is not a bad country. Especially for good people. You
Sure,
know,
sure.
we
Oh,
try to
I
denounce.
know it.
We
I
try to denounce the people like Sean Gibbons, who is dirty as a rock. You know, so that alone, I hope you get back to the Philippines and hook up with your wife again and your
Sure,
kids.
sure,
Right?
yeah.
sure. I'll get it all back. I know it.
Yep.
Uh, uh, I really appreciate this. It's very heartwarming because I haven't had a chance to reach out to the Philippines, and I'm just glad to finally be able to talk to people, and there are those that understand what I went through. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, and God bless, sir. We are very sorry for what happened, sir. What happened to you here in the Philippines.
Thank you. Thank you.
God bless. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Sir
you.
Juan. Muchas gracias.
Yes,
Maraming
muchas
salamat
gracias.
sa'yo.
Oh yeah,
Kasi,
we've got I'm a member of Universal Boxing Council. We've got our convention in Cartagena, Colombia, August 25th through the 28th. We'll have some exciting fights out of South America, um,
okay.
and that hopefully leads up to the Philippines later.
And also, you have already a license in Africa, right?
Yes, I'm also licensed as a promoter in Kenya, Uganda,
Yeah.
and Cameroon. Did a fight in
Yeah.
Cameroon last December. I've got a lightweight out there. Um, I actually met an ex-coach of Pacquiao in Uganda. Nobody knows Pacquiao went to Uganda for amateur training many years ago.
Yeah, I see.
Met his coach. Pretty interesting.
Okay. That's nice to hear that, sir.
Yeah.
So, partner,
Thank,
thank you so
yes.
much. And again,
Thank
Sir
you, Sir
Lucky,
Lucky.
anytime you just give
All
me
right,
a
thank you.
message and we will continue to pursue justice on your behalf. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
for sure, Sir Juan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
So,
Wow,
partner,
partner. Yeah,
pasalamatan natin yung ano. Kaya lang, nakakasakit ng damdamin, no? Na
sobra.
malaman yung mga kawalang hiyaan na ginawa nitong puno na siya dapat na namamahala ng kapakanan ng mga boksingero sa Pilipinas. Pero nakita natin
Yun
kung paano niya. Kasi napansin ko yung partner eh. Nung nagpunta siya ng UK, ang sabi ni Sir Jerry, as what Mr. Kinito Henson said, official daw yung pagpunta niya doon. So therefore, kung official yon, how could that be na hindi mo man lang kinausap si Casimero?
Kaya nga,
Di ba?
eh.
Nandun ka
Kung ano nang-
sa poder ni ano eh. Anong
Ano yung
ginagawa mo
kalagayan?
doon? Di ba? Ikaw yung chairman ng GAB, hindi mo man lang inalam. Katapat lang yung hotel na tinutuluyan. Ngayon sasabihin mo, hindi mo alam kung paano i-reach out si Casimero. Man, merong promoter. Nandun ang probelum. Di ba? Isang question lang yun. Don't tell me. Don't tell me hindi magsasabi ang probelum kung nasaan si Casimero. Di ba? Na ipatawag niya doon. Makuha niya man lang yung side ni Casimero. Nandun siya eh. Di ba? Katabi niya pa nga yung asawa ni nung manager ni Jonas. Nandun din si Sean Gibbons. Ano ginagawa mo doon? Di ba?
Kaya nga. Di, ang
Kaya
nangyari
para sa
pa is
akin,
parang na-blame pa yung nangyari na yung alam mo boarding for professionalism.
unprofessional.
Parang ang sakit pakinggan pag narinig mo sa isang official yung ganun, which is dapat inalam mo na kung ano ba talaga yung side ni Champ Casimero, no? Saka yung nangyari dito kay Sir Lucky, partner, nakakalungkot din kasi future ng mga
Oo.
boxers sana natin yan eh.
Oo.
Kasi 'di ba ilan lang naman yung promotion dito meron sa Pilipinas. Tapos nang dahil lang doon sa hindi ko alam sa anong dahilan kung bakit nagigipit si Sir Juan.
Hindi,
Ginigipit.
ang isa pang point ni doon ni Sir Juan, mas nauna pa siya kay kay JC Manangkil, yung Sunman. Pero na-elevate niya pa agad yung Sunman kasama sino? Partner. Si Sean Gibbons. Dahil halos ng mga boxer, hindi lahat halos kundi lahat ng boxer partner ng Sunman Promotion na dinadala sa Amerika ay si Sean Gibbons ang nagpa-facilitate para iangkas sa mga fight doon. Kasi alam naman natin, walang lisensya ang MP, so inaangkas lang niya. Kalahin mo yun, wala kang lisensya, i-elevate ka pa, bibigyan ka pa ng honorary sa Pilipinas. Di ba? Ano yun? Anong klaseng...
Naririnig ko, no? Di umano na bibigay pa doon ng award.
Yun nga. Yun nga ang ibig kong sabihin.
Grabe talaga. Well, anyway, shout out pala kay Sir Stephen, andito siya, partner. At saka kay kay kadigmang Bro Paul Verizard, nakailang lapag na si Bro Paul, siguro naka-4 na ta. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Bro Paul, sa suporta sa Western East Duo. At saka kay Mandirigma sa channel ko, maraming salamat. Kay Ma'am Carmen Music. Pwede magpaakyat tayo siguro, no? Para marinig din natin yung side ng ating
magpaakyat ka, partner. Pero I'm going to stay for just 30 minutes more, partner.
30
Kasi
minutes lang,
i-idlip pa ako ng konti. Kasi bakbakan yung trabaho ko mamaya eh. Ha?
Kahit saglit lang tayo.
Sige.
Paakyatin lang natin sila para marinig nila yung paakyatin natin live. Shoutout din pala kay Glenn Luzon. Akyat ka dito, Kadigma, pag-usapan natin yung nangyari. Para marinig natin
pala,
yung mga viewers
partner,
natin.
alam mo, magkatabi pala si Kuya Hermo sa Kasimitra nung laban ni Butler at ni Jonas.
Oo. Hindi man lang niya nag-hi doon kay
Ewan.
Hindi mo lang siya nagtanong kay Hermo, no? Kuya Hermo.
Hindi naman niya alam.
Hindi niya alam.
Kaya to reach out general ay napakadali para sa isang opisyal ng GAB. Kaya para dito sa istorya na ito na pagsasabihan niya pa si Champ ng very unprofessional, I don't think it is acceptable to me, partner.
Yun nga din eh, sa akin eh, medyo masakit pakinggan yun. Tapos nakikita mo doon sa isang tao, yung side niya nandun siya. Habang alam naman natin, no, na from the start kung paano dinidikdik si Champ kasi meron ng SG na yan. Kaya, tapos ngayon nalalaman natin ganito yung mga kalakaran pala. So nakakagulat kasi ito ay future ng mga boxers natin ang pinag-uusapan dito. 'Di ba? Sayang yung pagkakataon na 'yan, partner. Natigil
biruin mo,
na lang.
biruin mo, partner. Nag-usap pa si CJ sa si Mitra,
Oh,
partner. Nag-usap pa. Bakit hindi man lang niya binigyan ng pagkakataon sabihin na gusto ko makausap si Cuadro Alas? 'Di ba?
mm,
Tapos magbibitaw siya ng salita na very unprofessional si Champ. Man,
kaya nga.
halatang halata naman. Anong ginagawa mo doon? Ini-interview si Jonas. Nandun ka. At imbis na gumitna ka, magsabi ka ng bagay na kung saan ay, di ba?
Mm. Tsaka
Kaya-
talagang walang nag-stand doon kay Casimero talaga. Ang feeling ko napagtulungan kasi lahat sila na nandun sa interview na yun, parang nag-agree. Si Jonas tumatango-tango din. Meaning,
Oo,
nag-agree siya sa sinabi niya, di ba?
Di ba? Ay, partner.
Kaya minsan
Shoutout,
nakakadismaya.
partner, sa shoutout ko muna si Cuadro Alas.
Mm.
Madaling araw ngayon sa Berlin. Nasa Germany siya. So, Champ, alam ko nanonood ka silently. Ingat lagi dyan. At I hope na ma-enjoy mo yung pamamasyal mo dyan sa Berlin. Nag-enjoy na siya dito, partner. Punta kami ng Milan. At nagpunta siya ng Holland kahapon. Ngayon, nasa Berlin, Berlin, Germany siya. Alam ko nag-enjoy siya ngayon doon. Kasi sabi ko sa kanya, we just enjoy it. Kasi sabi nga ni Mr. One Lucky kanina, partner, makakabalik si Champ.
Yun nga Yun nga ang
Sinabi rin niya ni Sir Jerry na hindi talaga may iwasan ni Butler si Champ dahil until now si Champ ay nasa rurok pa rin nung kanyang tagumpay. Although alam naman natin na masaklap, hindi natin matanggap na nang dahil lang sa sauna nanalo si Butler na
Kaya
nakuha
nga
niya yung corona ng
Oo.
bantamweight.
Win by
Kaya sana-
sauna stoppage. Anyway, gusto
Oo,
kong
kasi-
shoutout.
Kasi partner, saglit lang partner saglit
Sige.
lang Dapat nandun pala siya di ba? Bakit hindi siya doon hindi niya pinustro na nandun si Janrel? Ba't hindi niya pinustro doon na nandito yung champion namin? Bakit yung replacement ang ilalaban? Di ba?
Kaya nga.
Walang ganun di ba dapat yung isa sa papel ng ng Games and Amusement Board to protect our champion, partner?
Na
Hindi
pa nga, diba?
Ang ginawa niya to
pa nga
protect Sean Gibbons
Yun.
Yun ang
Ganun
ginawa
ang
niya which is
So, ngayon,
very unacceptable.
Malinaw din, partner, kung bakit ganun ang nangyari, di ba? Naririnig
Oo.
naman natin sa mga ini-expose ngayon ni Sir Juan.
Ni
Talagang
Juan.
grabe, di ba? Mind-boggling. Talagang mapapa-ano ka Ano nga ako kanina, medyo grabe yung pagkadismaya ko. Kasi tayo, as we boxing fans, di ba? Parang nanginayang ako sa sanang opportunity para sa mga Filipino boxers natin.
Kaya nga.
Grabe. Anyway, shoutout sa iyo, Insik, Kadigmang Insik, kila Tigres, kila Paul.
Bago
Maray,
gusto umakyat
kayo.
Bago gusto umakyat ni Paul, ni Sir
Kaya
Insect,
nga,
Sir
Paul. Si Tigres,
meron pa
shoutout sa
meron
iyo.
pa akong 30
Si Glenn
minutes.
Luzon. Kahit
Oo.
mag-add tayo ng mga 30 minutes lang para marinig yung
O si
nyo.
Boss Rich doon, nandiyan pala. Mega love shoutout sa iyo, Sir
Shoutout
Boss
sa iyo,
Rich doon.
Boss Rich doon. Sila
Rugby
Glenn
boy.
Luzon din.
Rugby boy.
Bumubuto pa pala to. Baka hindi na kami maabutan nito. Yan, sila Rugby
Ma'am
Boy, sila
Batsheba.
Ma'am Carmen.
Si Ma'am
Nandito rin,
Batsheba.
Batsheba.
Oo, Ma'am
Yan,
Carmen.
shoutout sa Ma'am Batsheba. Si Champion, Champions Highlights. Shoutout sa'yo. Sila
Oo,
mabibili na
ang gaganda
Michelle.
ng
Salamat.
magaganda yung sinabi ni ni Champion Highlights.
Kaya nga eh. Kaya nakakagulat, nakakainis
Isa pa
na
partner,
parang
no?
ano.
Isa pang hinaing ni Champ. Wala man lang hindi man lang siya in-interview ni Mitra doon. Kung bakit anong nangyari sa
Wala.
kanya doon sa UK. Bakit hindi natuloy yung
Wala.
laban? 'Di ba? Bakit wala?
Hindi man
Ikaw
lang
yung
inalam
dapat
kung
nandun ka eh. Ano ginagawa mo doon, 'di ba? Na
yun nga
hindi
eh.
mo man lang
Kahit kamustahin
naproteksyonan
na
si
lang.
Champ,
Kahit
'di ba?
kamustahin na
Na
lang,
hindi mo man
partner.
lang naproteksyonan si Champ. Kaya napaka-legit ng tanong ni Champ, partner. Bakit hindi mo man lang ako tinanong? Ano bang dahilan? Bakit hindi ka nakalaban? Di sana naikwento ni Champ.
Kaya nga eh.
Magkatabi lang yung hotel partner ni Mitra at saka ni Champ. Sipin mo yun.
Sa bagay.
Isang dot-dot niya lang sa probelum, di ba? Ang probelum magsasabi kay Champ,
Kung nasa,
yung chairman ninyo from the Philippines ay nandito, gusto ka makausap. Di ba? Wala eh. Tapos parang gusto pa niyang tanggalan ng lisensya si Champ. Man, nasa ng utak mo, Mitra? Ikaw yung ikaw yung dapat nagpo-protect kay Champ. Ikaw pa magtatanggal ng lisensya ni Champ.
parang ama
I am
ng
going.
'di ba? Parang ikaw yung pinaka-father ng mga boxers no? Diyan sa
Oo.
which is ikaw dapat yung pagka medyo naapi o naagrabyado yung isang boksingero, ikaw yung tatakbuhan. So ngayon, saan tatakbo yung mga boksingero kung ganyan partner? Sino yung
Yun na nga eh.
lalapitan nila?
Yun na nga eh. Di ba? Ang binigyan mo pa ng papuri, yung puti. Bambira. Anong klaseng yun? Anong klaseng governing body yan ng Ikaw pa naman yung chairman ng naturing kang chairman. Wala ka man lang ginawa to reach out the Champ.
Tapos nakakasama pa ng loob dahil yun nga, mabibigay pa ng mga award. Tapos dun sa last na interview nila, nakikita mo, di ba, na parang nasisi pa yung champion natin.
Kasama niya pa pala yung anak niya, partner. Ni Mitra, nandun din.
Kailangan naman talaga natin dito, ito talaga tayo mga kadigma, no? So kailangan talaga tayo partner.
Pero may tinatanong, partner, may tanong si Champ. Ano ba ginagawa ni Mitra doon?
Yun ang ano ko.
Di ba?
Pero ang tanong din, nandun kasi sa side sa kabila eh.
Kaya nga tanong ni Champ, anong ginagawa mo doon? Anong ginagawa mo doon? Di ba? Napakaganda ng tanong ni Champ na yun. Sabi nga niya, kuya, anong ginagawa ni Mitra doon? Magkatabi lang yung hotel namin. Bakit hindi man lang niya ako tinanong?
Kung nangyari, no?
Di ba? Kasi dito talaga napakalaki ng injustice. Napakalaki ng injustice na nung makausap makausap ko noon si Champ. Yun yung mga hinaing ni Champ eh. Na kuya, bakit gano'n? Nandun pala yung Gab. Magkatabi lang yung hotel namin. Bakit walang sabi ko. Kaya nga dapat ma-interview natin si Mitra, partner, no? Sir Baham Mitra, baka naman nanonood ka sa amin ngayon. Anytime. Meron pa po kaming 30 minutes, sir, para marinig din namin yung side ninyo regarding what happened.
Or pwede siyang mag-PM sa atin.
Pwede mag-PM sa atin, partner. Sa hinaing ni sa hinaing ni One Lucky, partner. Kaya Mr. Mitra, sir, alam kong busy kayo ngayon dahil election. Pero baka meron kayong spare time. Nakakausap namin kayo dito ng live. Dahil marami kaming gustong itanong sa'yo. Di ba,
Open
partner?
open po yung
Oo.
Sir Mitra, no, open po yung Western East Doo para po
Oo,
sa side
baka
niyo po.
isipin niya partner, very selective tayo. Na
Yeah,
pinipili lang natin kung sino yung gusto natin paakyatin.
pakyatin. Yeah.
Dito hindi. Unless lang kung TTFY yan, ay partner ako, no mercy ako diyan.
Mm, mm.
Yan ang stand ko diyan.
Kasi if in case na papaunlakan tayo partner, marami talaga tayong itatanong. Marami akong itatanong din kung about sa
Oo.
nangyari, about sa halo-halo na to, about dito kay Sir Juan
One luck.
Lucky, ano bang
Oo.
istorya talaga niyan, at saka kay Champ Casimero.
Mm.
Sana mapaunlakan tayo, no, kung may nakikinig man na pwedeng makarating sa kanya, na open tayo para sa kanya, na sabihin yung side niya. Kung gusto niya lang, partner. Kasi hindi naman
Oo,
tayo ganun kalaking channel.
bago man lang siya bumaba sa pwesto, pero baka mamaya
Mm.
sumipsip sa bagong administrasyon, magtuloy-tuloy pa rin kasi ang pwesto niya partner nakasalalay lang yun sa Office of the President eh.
Oo nga, oo nga. Yun lang. Pero syempre, kahit na at least tayo ngayon mga Pilipino, tayo yung pinaka may kapangyarihan talaga, pwede naman tayo magsama-sama para maging vigilant. Bantayan natin para sa mga boksingero natin. Kung sama-sama tayo, partner, malakas tayo. 'Di ba?
Kaya nga.
Kumbaga, kailangan lang natin magiging manindigan, yung pagiging assertive. Saka mag-ingay talaga dapat. Kasi kung nasa tama lang din naman tayo, hiningi naman natin yung mga yung karapatan din natin yan na magtanong sa kanila,
Oo, correct.
'di ba? As a
Pero
Filipino citizen na
as a Filipino citizen partner na nandito ako sa ibang bansa na nakikita ko ang dami natin mga boksingero na dito kahit champion ka na, nakikita mo pa rin na hindi pa rin fair yung treatment partner no? Ang layo pa rin eh.
kaya nga
Nakakalungkot pa rin.
parang
Wala bang aakyat partner?
walang aakyat
Oo, pag
Shoutout
walang
pala sa iyo,
aakyat,
Batang Saudi TV Vlog. Shoutout sa iyo. Tsaka kay Insik. Si Boss Insik ata, hindi rin makaakyat. Mami Divine, shoutout sa iyo. Shoutout sa iyo,
busy
Edgar
rin.
Pabon.
No?
Tsaka si VC Fight Club, shoutout sa inyo mga kadigma. Maraming salamat at medyo talagang na-miss ko talaga sila. Itong natin, partner, itong LS.
May pagkakataon mo ng
yung mga
partner,
kadigma natin.
mag-shoutout.
Yeah, sila Courtney Nirvana, shoutout sa iyo. Yeah, maraming salamat sa pag-tune in dito sila. OFW Quiet TV. Shoutout sila Skylar24. Si Skylar ba to? Shoutout sa Skylar.
Hindi, magkaiba yan. Si Skylar
magkaiba.
24 saka si 06 magkaiba yan.
Shoutout sa iyo Arnold Pangilinan, sila Kadigmang Ken Remigio, shoutout sa iyo. At saka pasalamatan ko talaga din si Paul Verizer kanina talagang nagbigay siya ng sa atin, support or yung tinatawag nilang pakulay. Maraming salamat sa iyo. At saka also kay Tigres din, no? Yung dalawang love team.
Maraming salamat dun sa
grabe yung suporta nila sa atin. Maraming salamat.
Balikan natin uli yung GAB partner. Di ba, trabaho dapat nila mag-imbestiga? Di ba, partner? Pero wala ako naririnig na mayroong investigasyon na ginawa nila tungkol do sa nangyari na yan Di ba? Kasi tingnan mo partner kung halimbawa ako si Mitra, sino yung ipaglalaban ko dito partner? Hindi yung replacement. Ipaglalaban ko dito, yung champion. Kasi karangalan to ng Pilipinas partner Alam mo yun? Karangalan to ng Pilipinas. Pero bakit hindi ko na ipaglaban yung champion? Kundi, gumawa pa ako ng statement para i-down ko yung champion. Kaya nga malaking question mark ko doon, partner. Anong ginawa mo doon? Mr. Mitra? Ano ba talagang pakay mo doon? Ba't nasa UK ka? Di ba? Malaking question yun Unang-una kung official yun. Kung official trip yun, partner. taong bayan, pera ng taong
Hmm.
bayan ang
Yung
gumastos doon. So may
gumastos to.
karapatan tayong magtanong, 'di ba? Meron tayong
Tama.
karapatan magtanong, ano bang ginagawa mo doon? 'Di ba?
Tama.
Yun ang ano doon eh. Yung bottom line doon eh. Ano bang ginagawa mo doon, sir? Ni hindi mo man lang ni hindi man lang pumasok sa kokote mo na, teka, agrabyado yata kami rito ah. Nasaan ba yung champion namin? Makausap ko nga. Dapat nanindigan ka doon. Umalag ka ron. Hindi eh. Pinahiya mo pa yung champion natin eh.
Hmm.
Kasama mo pa yung banyaga. Magkasama kayo doon na in-interview ni ano, ni hindi ko na to matatawag na din eh. Kasi yung utak nito wala na sa pagiging din eh. Siguro nag-uulya na rin ito eh. Di ba? Nawala nga respeto ko dito sa tao na to, partner.
Mawawala talaga. Sobra mawawala
Tinawag pang
talaga.
din. Tinawag pang din. Pero nasaan yung ano mo? Binenta mo yung champion natin sa isang banyaga.
Wala talagang maasahan yung ano, no? Yung si
Wala.
Champ Casimero dito,
Wala
talagang
siyang
naasahan.
matakbuhan eh. Sabi ko nga, pambihira. Oh. Sana naman ulitin ko, Senator Bongo, kung hindi na po kayo busy after nitong election, sir, baka pwede nyo naman bigyan ng pansin tong hinaing namin regarding kay Champ Janrel Casimero, sir. O, na magkaroon man lang sana ng investigasyon.
Kasi talagang kailangan natin yung ano, partner, kailangan talaga natin
hindi lang siya binugbog. Partner, hindi lang binugbog dito si Champ eh. Pinagtulungan nilang lahat eh. Walang pinagkaiba yung ginawa nila doon kay ano, kay Juan Lucky. Pinagtulungan nila.
Ganun, pinagtulungan. Grabe yung
para
pinagdaanan ni ano, no? Ni Juan Lucky, no? Grabe din pala yung pinagdaanan niya.
Very similar din kay Champ.
Ah,
Kaya lang dito, sinira niya yung pamilya, partner. Sinira yung
yun nga,
pamilya.
nabanggit niya kanina yung sa asawa niya.
Oo. Na yung asawa niya, imbis na pumanig sa kanya, pumanig sa gab.
Yun din, no? Kaya napaka hirap talagang isipin din. Tsaka ito talaga ano, hindi na natin kaya na puro lang tayo dito salita, partner.
Oo.
Although nakakatulong 'tong ginagawa natin, lahat ng mga supporters nakakatulong 'tong ginagawa natin, pero dapat meron tayong gagawing hakbang. Yung action, kasi minsan action speak louder than words nga eh, ika nga eh.
Oo, totoo
So,
yun.
gumawa tayo ng hakbang na paano natin ma-reach out yung pinaka-like kay Senator Bongo na talagang
Kung tutusin nga, napaka-ideal sana ni Bongo. Kasi siya yung chairman ng sports, partner. Siya may hawak ng sports eh. Nasa committee niya yun eh. Kaya napakaganda talaga sana na siya yung ano, mapaghinga natin ng ano, no, ng hinaing. Matulungan natin si Champ. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng puro salita lang tayo ng salita eh.
Di pwede yun. Yung suporta natin, sumusuporta tayo. Wala eh. Sayang yung ano natin, partner. Kailangan talagang ilakad na natin ngayon. Tayo, kahit pa paano, talagang ginagawa natin yung ano eh, makakaya natin na ma-reach out natin si Senator Bongo about sa issue na to.
Kaya
Sana hopefully after this election, siguro mapagbigyan na tayo.
Meron din isang grupo na lumapit sa akin, partner, na inilapit nila ito kay Mr. Tulpo. Pero hanggang ngayon wala rin naman nag-reach out sa akin para tanungin yung nangyari.
Maraming salamat din no. Sa ano yun yung gusto kong marinig talaga, partner, yung hakbang na gagawin. Kasi yung magsalita lang tayo dito is not enough talaga para matulungan si Champ Casimero. Yung i-reach out si Tulfo, yun, ayos yun. The best yun. Sino man yung grupo na yun. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Salute ako sa mga ginagawa niyo din, which is yun talaga yung tama na gagawin natin.
Kaya sana,
Tulong-tulong tayo, sama-sama tayo,
sana
lahat ng mga
magbunga yun,
supporters
ano.
ni Champ Casimero.
Oo. Ito man lang yung ano, partner, ito man lang yung maibigay natin na
Link
ano
daw,
kay
please.
Champ.
Sino to si
No?
Calvo?
Ayan, may humihingi ba? Si Calvo? Si ano yun, si Sir
Sino yan?
Jerry. Sir Jerry.
Ganun.
Yan, paakitin mo uli si Sir Jerry, partner. At meron pa akong 15 minutes.
Ah, kaya nga eh. Nawala nga siya kanina.
Oo, mahina yung ano, nasa labas yata si Sir Jerry.
Mahina yung signal niya.
Mahina pa lang internet sa Amerika, ano?
Kaya nga eh. Baka pag nasa labas yung wifi nila. Pero bakit
Ayan.
ganun, no? Mahina pa rin.
Oo. Alam ko na kung bakit. Sa ayaw nilang papasukin ng Huawei. Dito sa Europe kasi Huawei partner ang ano ng Wi-Fi.
Talagang ano.
Malakas ang ano ng Huawei.
Masisira sila doon. Wala yung Apple.
Kaya
US
tingnan mo.
company kasi itong Apple eh.
Tingnan mo si Sir Jerry. Wala, hindi makaakyat.
Kaya nga.
Ay, naku.
Sila Glenn Luzon, saan ka na? Akyat ka na dito. Habang may 30 minutes pa natitira. Actually, ito si Glenn Luzon, lagi ko itong nakakausap. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Kadigma, sa pagsuporta sa Western East Duo. Maraming salamat. Akyat ka na. Dito ka na. Akyat ka na. Kahit saglit lang. Magpapakita ka, tapos bigay ka lang ng mensahe mo.
Oo.
Yung mga kadigma natin dyan sa baba, pwede po kayong umakyat. Magbigay lang po kayo ng mga opinion nyo about sa narinig natin ngayon na talaga naman grabe din. Iba. Tsaka maraming salamat sa mga nag-tune in ngayon. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Na-miss namin kayo mga kadigma. Halos 2 weeks din kaming nawala dahil talagang iniingatan namin ngayon yung alam mo na hindi tayo pwede magsalita sa ngayon eh. Kaya nagkaroon muna kami ng break sa aming show. Pero ito, balik na naman kami ulit. At maraming salamat sa pagpunta niyo po ulit dito sa amin at pagsuporta dito sa Western East Duo. At marami pa po tayong ibang tatalakayin na about sa welfare or sa
Naka-block.
kapakanan ng ating mga boksingero.
Partner, may nag-block siguro kay D sa'yo.
Sino?
Paki-check mo na lang yun mo kasi hindi siya makapag-comment sa'yo eh.
Sino?
Si D.
Meron nababasa ko eh. Ayan Ay, hindi ako makapag-comment kay
Hindi.
Mandirigma.
Sa akin yan eh. Sa akin siya nagko-comment eh. Baka may nag-block. Baka
Sige, try
baka
i-check
may-
ko ha. Baka may nakapasok na
baka may surot na umano dyan eh.
nakapasok.
Kasi
Sorry.
Maanghang din yan si Sir D bumitaw ng komento niya eh.
Kaya nga, ayan i-check ko sa'yo, i-check ko mamaya, kadigma na din, sorry kung kung na-block ka, hindi ko kasi alam, hindi ko kontrolado din. Baka may mga moderator tayong nakapasok na hindi ko alam.
Ay, si Corpio, busy yun eh, ngayon. At
Andiyan si Nagorfio.
election. O nga, nandyan nga.
Yan. Always nandyan yan. Kaya maraming salamat sa iyo, Corfio, sa pagsuporta. Si Rugby Boy, maraming salamat din sa iyo, Rugby Boy.
Ayan
Sila,
Ayan na
Ma'am
yata si
Winnie,
Sir
maraming
Jerry.
salamat din.
Parang narinig ko na yung audio ni Sir Jerry.
Pero naka-block pa rin siya. Mamaya after nito, baka pipila na rin ako doon sa school. Bubuto na rin si Mandirigma. Yan. Nance Ace J, maraming salamat po ako sa inyo, mga boss. Hindi nyo po iniwan si Quadro last times po. Yes, actually, nagpahinga lang po kami ng 2 weeks, pero tuloy-tuloy po yung aming suporta, tuloy-tuloy po yung aming ginagawa. Behind the camera, behind the scene, ika nga. Kasi may mga bagay na talagang maingat kami ngayon dahil syempre, alam nyo naman, medyo maraming nakabantay. So, may iniingatan kami mga info na dapat hindi malaman ng lahat. Pero yung suporta po namin para pa dun sa mga nagtatanong kung bakit kami nawala ng matagal, yun nga po yung dahilan. Gumagalaw lang po kami ni Sir Nemuel behind the camera. Ginagawa po namin lahat ng aming makakaya para sa kapakanan po ni Champ Casimero dahil hindi po sapat yung magsasalita lang po tayo dito eh. Kaya talagang hindi kaya yung hanggang salita lang tayo, puro tayo salita, ganito. So, yun, medyo nag-break muna kami sa LS pero yung suporta namin tuloy-tuloy po.
Sorry
Nilalapit
bro,
namin.
wala akong video.
Okay lang
Yes,
yan, Sir Jerry.
Yeah, there's something wrong with the camera. Pero bro, commend you, maganda yung production nyo ngayon. Itong magbubukas ng mga mata ng Pilipino natin sa Pilipinas na
Kaya
mga
nga eh.
kabaluktutan na ginagawa nitong Gab natin at saka to si Sean Gibbons.
Grabe.
Good
Kaya,
morning.
welcome na si Tigres,
Nice.
magandang
Tigres.
umaga.
Umaga.
Josan.
San, kuya. Bro,
Sana
ayaw nila umangyat eh.
salamat Tigres
Kako,
sa suporta. Tsaka
Always.
sana nagustuhan niyo po yung comeback namin ngayon, no? Na talagang bigay na naman po ng panibagong expose po sa inyo.
At thank you nga pala kay Sir Jerry tsaka kay Mark Joseph na wala yung internet daw niya eh. Baka kaya bigla siya nalaglag. Hindi na nakabalik.
Tanong ko lang bro, yung napili mo bang bubutuhin hindi corrupt? Char.
Minsan pinipray ko na lang din eh. Pero kung ano yung nasa puso ko, yun na lang yung ibubuto ko talaga. At saka nakikita
Baka
ko naman.
magkamali ka si Coach nagkamali. Yung Belyo akala niya senador, meron din palang Belyong Vice President. Kaya baka magkamali ka ng masasayang yung boto mo sa Vice.
Oo nga eh.
Make sure si Sarah yung nandun na makita mo.
Kaya nga. Saka dapat na mag-vote tayo ayon dun sa talagang napupusuan natin at saka yung nakikita natin na talagang magsilbi sa bayan kasi ito ay 6 years na naman tong pagtitiisan natin. So ngayon medyo okay naman ako sa administration ni Duterte.
Pero kung ako sa'yo, partner, ituloy mo na. Yung 6 na taon ni Duterte, ituloy mo pa ng 6 na taon uli.
Kaya nga. Kasi sayang nakikita ko dito sa Pilipinas, medyo malaki talaga yung pagkakaiba. Nung galing ako ng Qatar, pagbalik ko dito, nag-iba talaga siya. Hindi katulad dati. Kasi yung una na lang, yung mga addict na lang partner, medyo maginhawa na wala ka na makikitang tambay dyan sa labas at hihingan ka ng piso tapos pag hindi ka magbigay, kunin yung cellphone mo. Saka hindi mo mailabas yung cellphone mo, lagi mo sinasilent kasi pag tumunog yan at matunugan ng mga hold-upper yan, kukunin sa'yo yan ng sapilitan, di ba? Samantala ngayon, marami pang nagsi-selfie ngayon, nagba-vlog sa labas. Samantalang before, hindi mo mailalabas yung gadget mo, di ba? So doon pa lang, panalo na eh.
Saka ang
Tapos
linis
nandyan
na
pa yung mga tulay.
Yung last na uwi ko din yung Baklaran. Malinis na wala na masyadong sa tabi-tabi.
May mga corrupt man na katulad nitong narinig natin ngayon, pero at least kahit paano iilan na lang yung mga yan. Di umano ayon kay Sir, ayon kay Juan Lucky yun, no? Hindi yun galing sa amin.
Na-expose talaga si Mitra
allegedly, yeah. Hindi po yun galing sa atin, partner. Galing po yun sa ina-address ko na as per doon sa ating guest na si Juan Lucky.
Kilala pala ni Rachel eh.
Kilala niya?
Oo. Hindi lang siya makasali doon sa chat natin at nag-entertain siya ng mga guests at nag-Mother's Day celebration kami dito sa isang resort dito. Mga kaibigan niya, sasama sa birthday niya sa June 21st sa Cabo.
Partner, may tanong dito si BC Fight Club. Baka gusto mong sagutin.
Anong tanong niya?
May code of conduct daw yung mga professionals ayon sa GAB. Kaya dapat mag-seminar din si Casimero. Yan ang seminar pinagsasabi nila. Ano. Kasi alam
Oo.
ko, bago ka bibigyan ng license, tapos mo na yun lahat eh.
Paano nga bro yung tanong na si Sean Gibbons walang lisensya?
Kasi bago ka
Tapos ang
kasi
GAB.
maging active,
Tapos ang
maging
GAB.
license ka ng GAB, lahat yan bro, VC Fight Club, napagdaanan yan for sure. Bago i-release sa'yo yan.
Yeah.
Diba? Alam nga man, nauna yung lisensya mo bago yung kung ano yung mga code of conduct na sinasabi mo. So
Baka
bago
hindi
ibigay
na,
sa'yo yan, automatic yan. Magpagdadaanan mo muna yung mga sinasabi mo.
Hindi ka na mabibigyan ng lisensya eh. Hindi ka na mabibigyan
Exactly.
ng lisensya
VC
kung
Fight Club.
hindi mo na pagdaanan yung
The
mga code of
fulfill,
conduct.
dadaanan mo yung mga
Di
code of
ba?
conduct na sinasabi
Oo.
mo. Yun ang very,
Nakakuha na
very,
nga ng ano eh. Nakakuha na nga partner ng 3 division eh. Na belt
oo,
eh.
license, active nga
Hindi
yung
pa ba?
license nga eh.
Oo.
Kaya
Tapos
yun
yung
yung
walang
sagot
license,
dun sa tanong mo, Fight
pinagbibigyan.
Club.
Tapos yung walang lisensya sa GAB, yun ang ano,
Yun.
yun ang
Pinagbibigyan.
malaki ang, ewan. Basta ako, malaki ang tanong ko talaga eh. Anong ginagawa mo doon? Katabi mo pa si Sean Gibbons? Official pala yung lakad mo.
Parang driver's license na yan, partner eh. Alam man, bibigyan ka na ng license, hindi ka pa nakapag-test drive, hindi ka pa nakapag-exam, hindi ka pa nakapag-orient doon, di ba? Same
it's who
thing
you know.
sa boxing.
It's who you know, bro. Pilipinas, who you know. Magkano lagay? Yeah.
Pero ngayon, kahit pa paano, Tatay Jerry, na about sa license, talagang dumaan talaga ako sa proseso. Yung mga fixer siguro, parang wala na, hindi katulad before na kahit hindi ka magpunta, magkakaroon ka ng license. Pero under the Duterte administration, wala yun. Saka mas bumilis. Bumilis yung release ng mga license, ng driving license. Yan.
Happy Mother's Day po sa inyong mga asawa.
Meron pa isang partner. Meron pa akong isang katanungan sa GAB eh. Di ba, pinay-question nila na pinay-question si General. Bakit hindi nila na-question na walang lisensya sa GAB si Jonas? At hindi man lang siya nagpaalam sa GAB na siya ay lalaban doon sa time na yon.
Baka kasabwat kasi ang GAP eh.
Tapos nung time na yun,
walang license, partner?
Expire yung license niya. Nung lumaban siya sa ano. So bakit samantalang si Champ bago umalis ng Pilipinas, nag-apply nung hinihingi ng GAB, lahat ng ginawa
nag-apply siya.
Inano ng ni Champ.
So,
binigay niya na. So,
paano kaya
bakit
nangyari?
hindi nila gawa ng investigasyon yun? Di ba?
O paano yun, VC Fight Club? Yung kanina, yung nagsabi sa atin dito about doon sa Code of Conduct. Anong masasabi mo doon?
Yun ang pinakamatindi. Yung Code of Conduct doon eh. Wala kang lisensya eh. Di ba? Nakalabang ka doon sa katabi mo pa yung katabi mo pa yung GAB chairman.
Ayan, sabi ni Sir Stephen, request ko sa lahat ng Pro Quadro Alas at Boxing Fanatics Vloggers, ikalat mo natin itong interview na to sa social media hanggang makarating kay PRRD. Let's expose this crooks. Yeah. Yes, we will, Sir Stephen.
Tapos
sana
partner, isa pa.
After
napansin mo ba noon, bago umalis si Champ, papuntang US, nagpaalam pa siya sa GAB? Di ba? Na may laban siya. Si Jonas ba nagpaalam sa GAB? Hindi nga niya alam kung may laban siya o meron. O wala.
Kaya nga,
diba?
hindi siya sigurado, no? Hindi siya sigurado.
Bakit yun hindi nila nagawa ng investigasyon?
Paano nakabaka sa kanya si
Yes.
Andy Rose?
Actually, sagutin ko lang to si Champ Cuadro Alas, no? Pwede ba ma-post yan sa mga FB account? Pwede po. At saka doon sa mga vloggers po na may mga channel, mga Cuadro Alas supporter, pwede niyo pong kunin itong itong video na to. Wala pong problema sa West and East kay Mandirigma. Wala pong copyright strike na mangyayari.
Wala
Open
kaming
po to sa lahat.
i-strike.
Kunin niyo po lahat. Kunin niyo po lahat itong
Kahit
buong
lahat.
video na to.
Kahit lahat, oo.
Kahit wala na kayong i-edit, gawin niyo na lahat.
Hindi kami mag-ano. Dahil ito ay for the service of the Filipino boxers.
Tsaka kung meron kayong pumasok kayo sa complaint section ni President Duterte. Kung pwede, yung link yan eh. Yung link nitong kay Bro Mandirigma.
Tatanawin ko pong malaking pasasalamat po sa lahat ng mga supporters natin pagka i-repost nyo po ito sa channel nyo. I-upload nyo po sa channel nyo. Ulit. Maraming salamat po in advance sa lahat ng mga kukuha ng video.
Hindi po kami magrereklamo. Bagkos kami po ay magpapasalamat pa ng lubos.
Kami sa inyo. Opo.
Sipin mo yun? Grabe. Ipopost din daw ni Sir Juan Lucky yung natin partner. Yung interview niya doon sa kanyang page, saka doon sa kanyang YouTube channel.
Ang reklamo ng kabilang side nun si Cuadro Alas lang daw nagrereklamo. Ito puti.
Ito puti. Ang laki ng reklamo.
Ang laki ng reklamo na
grabe.
Sweep lang under the rug. Siyempre kasi ang may kapangyarihan kasabwat sa kalokohan.
Biruin mo yung kwento niya pa partner na yung mga boxer niya na under contract sa promotion niya lumaban dun sa sa Resorts World under ng pinayagan ng GAB na under ng Sunman at magkatabi pa nandun din si Sean Gibbons. Pinuntahan niya doon. Yung boxer niya namumutla sa takot. Pero wala rin siyang magawa dahil sa ginawa nandun Kumbaga matindi yung conspiracy na ginawa nila dito sa promoter na to na hindi Pilipino Take note, hindi Pilipino yung promoter na to. He's an American.
Kaya nga Saka ito hindi talaga tumitigil ito sa may ethical standard pa si VC Fight Club. Yung kanina naman ulit partner. Hindi ko to maintindihan kung ganun, bakit ganun.
Ano naman yung concern niya?
Code of conduct daw, unethical standard of professional athlete. Yung last time kasi nabanggit kasi ni last time na nakadalawang beses na daw si Champ Casimero. Pero paano mo i-count yung una?
Partner, merong medical certificate yon.
Yun nga.
Medical certificate yon.
Yun nga ang
Tapos itong ngayon naman, itong nangyari naman ngayon, partner, walang natanggap na sulat.
Wala. Correct.
Nabawal ang sauna.
Kasi malamang din nakikita kasi nito si VC Fight Club, yung last sinabi ng GAB na parang padalan daw nila ng summon about sa kasi nga 'di ba sabi nila professional yung ginawa. So yun lang, gusto ko lang i-explain din dito kay VC Fight Club last na to na si Champ po last time po sa Dubai is nagkasakit po siya, may medical record po siya, pati po yung WBO is na convinced po about dun sa medical report niya. Tapos dito naman sa pangalawa, wala pong binigay sa kanila na bawal pala yung sauna, wala silang pinirmahan na ganun. So sana imulat din natin yung ating mga mata.
Tsaka Bro Mandirigma, mismo si Paco Bargasel ng WBO hindi nakaboto sa botohan ng mga council niya at siya hindi sumasangayon sa desisyon na ginawa ng council niya. Natanggalin ang belt ni ni Champ.
Grabe.
Simple
Grabe, ano?
Anyway,
Simple na yun. So, ibig sabihin, sa patakaran ng WBO, sa tingin ng presidente, hindi tamang tanggalan. Pero since nagboto yung unanimously sa yung mga tao niya, they have to follow that regulation.
Kaya nga. So anyway, partner, no, ito si VC Fight Club, sabi niya, email daw niya si chairman. So which is good. So open po yung West and East doon para sa side po ni chairman, no. Baka para dapat magiging transparent din dito tayo. Wala kaming yung isang side lang. So yung gawin mong pag-email, maganda 'yan. So
kung
sasagutin po sa Mandirigma Zero, Mandirigma Zero Facebook page ko po. Email na po kayo doon. Anytime pwede po natin i-set yung interview for chairman po kung papayag po siya. Para marinig po namin yung side ni chairman. Which is good. Gusto po namin yan dito sa West and East do. Kasi marami po talaga kami pwedeng itanong din.
Isa pa ang point ng
Filipino citizen, no?
Nasa UK siya eh. Anong ginagawa na doon? Hindi man lang niya napasyalan si General na makausap. Di ba? Ikaw yung hepe ng Ikaw yung ulo ng GAB. Para sa akin talaga may something fishy doon. Hindi mo pwedeng hindi mo pwedeng isawalang bahala yung katanungan na yun.
So, thank you in advance dito, partner, kay VC Fight Club, no? Kasi siya na mismo yung mag-reach out kay chairman para mapanglakan natin ang interview dito sa West and East 2. So, para marinig natin yung side niya. Kasi marami po kami itatanong talaga kay chairman about sa nangyari.
Bro, Mandirigma, pag natuloy yung namin ni Sir Kenito, imi-mirror ka namin.
Ayun. Sige.
Para ito lang nga, kako, BC Fight Club, kako, ako, matagal nang inano ko yan, kinakausap ko yan si GAP chairman through Sir Kenito ng Philstar, right? Pero ang mga sagot sa akin, yun nga daw, hindi pa daw niya nakakausap si Cham Tata at saka si Igis Climas at saka si Jose de la Cruz. Kami ang ginagawang bridge. When I say kami, Team Donaire ang ginagawang bridge para makausap nila yung mga taong yun. Teka muna, hindi naman kami postal service eh. Kami ba tiga, kasi sila, boxer ng Pilipinas yun, lisensya. Dapat alam nila mga contact number, mga lisensya, may mga manager sila, diretso nila tawag doon sa tao na gusto nila makausap. Ngayon, kung ayaw sila kausapin, problema nila yun. Ibig sabihin, ang credibility nila hindi iniintindi ng mga tao to because these are big people in the boxing business. Si Igis Climas, yung si Jose de la Cruz, malalaki yan. Mas malaki pa yan kaysa kay Sean Gibbons. Okay? So,
kasi may lisensya yan eh.
Oo, may lisensya. Isipin mo, si Sean Gibbons inuutosan ang TGB na kung anong paggagawin.
Hello. Doon ako natatawa.
Sinagot siya ng TGB na wala kang pakialam sa TGB at hindi ka naman employee ng TGB.
Hello, good morning, Kadigma.
Good morning sa iyo, Glenn Luzon. Maraming salamat sa pag-akyat ito sa
Glenn.
Yes, idol NEMUEL.
Yeah. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa partner na isa sa mga fan mo, si ano.
Ito yung taga Jensan.
Yes, yeah.
Mayong buntag dia, sir.
May buntag po, sir.
Nya naboto ni Mus Pacquiao gyud.
Hala, BBM.
Si BBM.
By the way, yung sa concern naman, may email address kasi yung mga public officials. Then pwede natin ma-direct ng email yung concerns.
Sana yung direkta talaga, no? Kasi mostly kasi sa mga ganyan, iba yung nakaka-receive eh.
Yung kay Bongo Kadigma, direct yun. Pwede mo yun
Siya
ma-email.
talaga yung ano?
Yes.
Or,
Ah,
mm.
yung
Kasi
kay
iba ba
Hindi
yung
Bongo.
public yung
nakarating na
personal?
nga, nakausap na nga ni Champ yung ano yung personal aid ni ni Bongo. Kaya lang sabi, napaka-busy daw nila ngayon.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
Kaya
Pero
nga eh.
advice ko lang din, rather ngayon, kung mo na, keep silent muna kasi silent is the best weapon
Mm.
ba?
Mm.
Ah,
Tama.
so, limited muna yung information
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
within the circle. Kasi
Oo.
yung sa comment section kasi dyan, maraming nagko-comment.
Oo. Totoo.
May term ba na sniffing in the information ba?
Mm.
Sana kaya
Exactly.
ngayon,
Yeah.
oo.
Ah.
So filter
Kaya nga
dapat
ano, kaya nga medyo nanahimik kami ni sa Western East doon for 2 weeks. Kasi mas pinili namin na gumalaw behind the scene para talagang malinis. Kasi pagka palaging medyo alam mo na yung sinabi mo nga kanina sa mga nagko-comment, pero which is aware naman kami doon na Kadigmang Glen, no, na i-spot naman namin yung mga tao na talagang kumukuha
minsan
na ng sa
nagsasabi
amin,
na
error.
sa seminar ng ethical, ano yan? I-make sure muna niya, i-verify niya muna lahat ng boxers if naka-seminar din like MP boxers. Kasi why not? Why single out kay Casimiro lang, 'di ba?
Yeah, exactly. Sabi nga ni partner ni Mel kanina, hindi ko alam kung ano ba yung partner yung yun, legit yun na walang license sa GAB.
Oo,
Si
legit
Jonas.
yun. Hindi nakauwi si Hindi nakauwi si para i-renew eh.
Kaya so doon pa lang sagot na yung mo tanong Kadigmang Glen. Si Tigres naman, hinga natin ng opinion about sa nangyari. Kasi isa rin to sa OFW na siyempre nagbibigay din ng natin ng tax. Malaking din ambag din sa ng Pilipinas, ekonomiya. Yung mga OFW natin diyan, saludo ako sa inyo. Wala, sarado.
By the way, yung party list nyo sa akin kan CIS.
Si Tulfo. Si Bigwa Sinera dito.
Isa lang ba yung Isa lang baka pwedeng umakyat si Bigwas. Wala
Akyat
bang
ka, Bigwas.
Wala bang tawag dito? Ilan bang dapat na ibotong party
Isa
list?
lang. Isa lang.
Isa lang pala. Isa lang palang pwede iboto. Kala ko 5.
Isa lang. Vote 1
Isa lang
tapos
pala.
daming pagpilian.
Yan. Yes, VC Fight Club mas mabuti talaga mag-guest dito si chairman. Para siyempre yung side niya is maipaliwanag niya din. Kaya open po yung Western East do.
Yun si Bigwas binoto niya pala si Pacquiao.
Kasi Tatay Jeric, inabangan din namin dito sa Jensen si Kuan, yung fight ni Nonito.
Champ Nonito.
Saya hindi kami matutuloy that deep into the Philippines pagkatapos ng laban niya sa Japan. Mukhang tutungtong kami ng Pilipinas siguro mga 2 days, depende kasi yung isang boxer na tinutulungan ni Champ Nonito na babae, yung 8-time world champion, may laban na sa Sainan bago kami lumakad pa Japan. Ngayon kung matuloy yung laban niya, kailangan makauwi agad kami para that following week may laban yung babae. So madalian kami sa Pilipinas. Yun lang nga para kausapin ng GAB dahil sa Probellum. That's why sabi ko nga sa pag kami napunta ng GAB, ibibideo ko, ilalive ko yung yung usapan sa
Yun.
sa GAB. At matanong din niya matanong din sa kanya tignan natin kung sasagutin niya sa harapan ni Richard Schaefer yung mga tanong ko. Kasi baka oo lang na oo yan Alam mo 3 months na lang natitira sa tenure niya as a GAB chairman papalitan na yan So, tignan natin. Alam mo kamukha niyan. In his 3 months na siyempre papalakihin niya ang ulo ni Sean Gibbons at bibigyan ng award. Para kung sino man ang umupo na next na GAB chairman, magkakaroon ng magandang tingin na si Sean Gibbons. Napakagaling na tao.
Ganun nga. Mag-iwan ng legacy na siyempre may award Nakalista yung mga awardees naman, di ba?
May nag-comment kami ba? Pwede ba i-arm punch ni Nonito si Naoya, yung kay Canelo na style?
Sino?
I think bro, ang mangyayari diyan yung kabilang side ng mukha. Si Chap dito hindi nagwe-waste ng suntok ng kamukha ng kay Canelo. Si Canelo naman, kung napanood niyo yung laban, yung arm punch ni Canelo, talagang maiksi kasi yung arm niya, hindi makaronda doon sa katawan ni Bibol. Kaya sinusuntok niya na lang sa kamay, sa braso. Hindi maka-curve sa liit ng haba ng kamay. Kaya ganoon ang putok niya. Pero kita mo ang mga braso ni Bibol naging
grabe yung pasa. Grabe yung pasa.
Pasa din talaga.
Hindi mo alam mo, pero hindi nakaka-knockout. Yun ang problema noon.
Pero pag matamaan yan si Naoya sa katawan, naku.
Sigurado.
Well, let me put it this way. Ano mas maganda? Tamaan niya sa katawan, bumagsak yung tao, posibilidad pang makatayo, o wasakin niya ang mukha?
Either kung sa mukha pwede din, pero nagtatanda na yan sa Naoya na magtatakip na yan ng mukha.
Okay, takip siya ng mukha, sasaluhin niya yung suntok sa katawan. Either way. Pero yun nga, takip siya ng mukha nung first laban, takip siya ng mukha, pero nakalusot pa rin yung dalawang suntok ni Cham Nonito. Right?
Tingnan namin mga hindi yan lalagpas ng round 6, mga round 5 or 4.
Yes. Ako din. Kung may taya na ganon, ako, yun ang itataya ko. 6. Under 6. Pero
Under 6,
so, bago kami umalis, wala pa ngayon hindi na ako maghihintay ako, tataya ako na panalo si Cham.
Nandiyan na yan sa mga it's either 5 or 4. Ayan.
Hindi na posibilidad. Basta hindi tumakbo.
Yun lang.
Yeah. Yun ang ako kung may oras lang ako na maghintay para makataya dun sa gano'n na proposition sa tayaan. Tataya ako ng gano'n. Pero kako, I don't have the time Alis kami 3 weeks before the fight Kailangan nandun na kami. So, gano'n na lang tatayaan ko na manalo.
Okay.
That's 4-1 Ang bayaran is 4-1 right now. Kasi kung ano sinasabi mo bro, 6 round ganyan, 6 and under, siguro aabot ng mga 6 yan o 7-1 ang bayaran.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pero ganda yung attack ng katawan, tapos wasakin yung dating basag na orbital bone.
Yep.
And, sige, excuse mo na ako kasi time na ako mag-vote. Okay, bye-bye.
Sige bro. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, bro. Ingat. Can I say something?
Yes.
Sige po.
Thank you. Mitra should clear his name with this issue, no? Dapat may masabi talaga siya dito kasi pangalan niya rin nakataya. Saka may sabihin lang ako tungkol dun sa, di ba sinasabi nila na si Casimero hindi daw sumunod sa rules ng BBFC. Ang tanong, si Sean Gibbons at si Mitra, sinunod din nila yung rules ng vaccine. Si SJ walang license. So, paano kaya yun, no?
One-sided lang, ate. One-sided lang. Lalo na puti ang kausap.
Oo. Pero Sir Jerry, nung huli pala kami nagkasama ni Champ, nagkausap kami regarding dun sa na yung maging sparring si Champ.
Yes.
Quadro alas. Talagang ang ganda ng tugon niya doon. Napaka-positive ng tugon niya doon. Na talagang wala siyang alinlangan na maka-sparring si Champ Donaire. Para pagtulungan yung kasi nakita nyo naman nawala na yung belt niya eh. Sabi niya sa pamamagitan man lang ng mga na yun ay makatulong siya sa laban na yun.
Kaya yung mga gustong yung nangangarap na makakuha ng video nun, coverage nun, mag-bid na kayo sa akin kung magkano.
Parang na-excite kami manood ng taya.
Sir Jerry, hindi yan hearsay, kasi talagang nakausap ko ng personal. Nakausap ko ng personal si
Akong bantay ng Nandor eh. Ng Prondor ako. Tiga-kandado ng Prondor eh.
Oo.
Si Baderatili, si sooner or later daw makukuha niya. Yeah, right.
Diba?
Excited kami manood ng sparring na yan. Kung hindi man natupad yung laban nila para sa undisputed, at least kahit sa sparring
alam mo, sa mga nakikinig dito, huwag kayong nag-aabala doon sa undisputed. Kung yun ang mangyayari, yun ang mangyayari.
Correct.
Sa Quadro Alas, mangyayari yun. Because napakagago ni Butler kung isali niya ang pangalan niya roon sa Google pihin lang siya. Iba itong mga tao na to na na gustong makakamit ng ng undisputed title. Iba. Hindi ka na Sultan. Ang mga quality fighters to.
Layo nun.
Napakalayo
talaga.
Patutulungin siya. Talagang ako kay Champ Tata lang wala na siyang masabi. Sa ngayon, ginawa pa ng WBO na mandatory si Champ Tata. So, hindi na pwedeng sabihin, gusto makalaban si Inoue o si Champ Donito. No, hindi mangyayari yun. Mauna muna naman mo yung mandatory. Tutulugin ka ni Champ Tata. Ngayon, ang hiling ko naman sa gobyerno ng Pilipinas, pag nagkalaban si Champ Nonito at si Champ Tata, kung kunin nila ang promotion, dali nila sa Pilipinas. Para lahat ng Pilipino, punuin yung arena. Kamukha ng ginagawa ng mga Hapon sa laban ni Champ Nonito at saka Champ Inoue. Saitama, biggest sa Japan, yun ang inaano nila. Talagang punong-puno. Punong-puno ang Saitama. Tapos ang ringside $2,000. Isipin mo. Talagang malaki. Kaya nababayaran nila mga boxers natin ng malalaking pera. Biro mo nag-import pa ng 2 Filipino boxers galing sa Pilipinas para makasparing niya.
Para yung mga taga-ibang bansa naman tayong pumunta ng Pinas kapag doon sila naglaban, no?
Yeah. Alam mo, mangyayari sabi ko may may nanliligaw sa akin na bata ni BBM na gusto namin, kung gusto daw namin suportahan si BBM. Sabi ko, walang question yan. Susuportahan namin. Ang hiling ko sa inyo, pag upo ni BBM dyan, ito ang gawin niyang parang legacy niya. Kasi ang tatay niya ang nagdala ng nagdala ng thriller in Manila.
Yun, tama ka doon Sir Jerry. Pero Sir Jerry, I just want to kasi boboto pa si Mandirigma.
Oh.
So,
Bubuto tayo
oo.
para sa...
Oo. So, ayaw natin ma-miss yung oportunidad na yan. Again, Sir Jerry, thank you very much na kahit biglaang imbitasyon eh hindi mo talaga kami
Hindi,
iniwan.
basta bro,
Oo.
basta, you give me a heads up early enough,
Opo.
I'll make it a point na pumunta ko. Sabi ko nga kay Rachel, kung makakapasok sana siya, pero yun nga, preoccupied siya with the guest na
Okay lang po yan. Importante kayo po ay nakasama namin at alam namin kung gaano kayo ka-legit, no? Na makasama. At Ma'am Tigres, maraming salamat sa iyo.
Kuya.
Maraming salamat.
Suporta mo na alam namin 100% yung suporta mo sa West and East at saka kay Champ, sa mga champion natin at sa mga boxers natin. Yung talagang we appreciate talaga. At saka doon sa mga viewers natin, partner, no? We truly appreciate po talaga yung mga comments po ninyo. Tandaan po natin, ito na po yung panahon na wala pong mercy. No mercy po tayo. Hindi po pwede ng neutrality rito. Hindi ko na po kayang tanggapin yon na magiging neutral tayo rito sa ginawa nila kay Champ. Kaya para sa akin, no mercy talaga. Maraming salamat.
Talaga tayo. Saka isa pa, partner, talagang yung kumbaga may kasabihan nga na actions speak louder than words. So, yung mga sinasabi natin, gawin na talaga natin. Kasi hindi talaga kaya na hanggang magsalita lang tayo eh.
Correct. So, I agree with you, partner.
Tsaka yun, sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta kay Champ Casimero, sana patuloy po natin suportahan siya at ang mga boksingero din po natin, partner, na alam mo na nangangailangan din ng tulong sa atin very soon. So, bigyan din natin ng pansin yung mga yun.
So abangan po ninyo guys, no? Yung mga susunod naming LS, malamang ma-interview natin yung mga ka-sparring ni Dunay, ay ni Naoya.
Oo. Tsaka ko papadalan ko na lang kayo ng still picture pag nag-sparring sila ni
Yun.
Yun.
Kunti lang ba ang pampalaway? Hindi natin bibigyan yung video. Yeah.
Marami ni tatay. Tay, damot mo, sabay ganun.
Shout out sa inyo, Gracious Rosales, shout out sa inyo, sila Skyler, nandito nakita ko sila Skyler, sila Balascador.
Saka si Sir Jacob, mega love shout out sa iyo, Sir Jacob. Spice Central, nyo nga pala yung channel niya, Spice Central.
Pa-subscribe po sa Spice Central.
Channel din ni Tigres. Channel ni Sir Jerry. May channel ka na ba, Sir Jerry?
Sa TV? Wala.
Wala pa? Okay.
Alam mo bro, ako napaka-busy ko. I cannot.
Yun na nga eh.
Yeah, hindi I would much rather, kung kanya, support na lang kay Champ Tata at saka kay Champ Nonito kasi mag-ano ko na. I'll give you the information na kailangan nyo. Being the insider. Parang si Silver Boys ako eh.
Hindi. Mas malupit nyo sa inyo kasi legit eh.
Hindi.
May lisensya kayo eh.
Mas
lisensya kayo eh.
Kalbo ko. Pero ako, I think I do a much better job ganyan na ma-assist na lang sa mga tao na legitimate yan, na mga vloggers kasi yung bubukas ako ng sarili kong channel na really.
Yun. So, sabi ni Sir Jacob, Sir Jerry, mega love shout out. I miss you daw.
Same to you, bro.
Yeah,
lahat tayo dito, basta nagtutulungan tayo. Isa lang na objective natin eh. Itaas lang ang mga natin. That's it.
Salamat.
So again, thank you very much po dyan sa baba. At maraming salamat po sa inyo, Miss Tigres, Sir Jerry.
Sir Jerry, maraming salamat po, Tatay Jerry.
Lunes po sa inyong lahat.
At tayo po ay bubuto ngayon. Bubuto tayo kay Wisely. Vote wisely po. Wala nang ibang ibubuto kundi si Wisely.
Yeah.
Maraming salamat mga kadigma at kita-kita po sa susunod naming mga LS. Abangan nyo po at maraming salamat sa lahat.
Yun.
Bye po. Maraming
Ingat.
salamat.
Adios.
Bye.
Ingat po tayo.
Ingat.
Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.